Open your mind. Your mind. Your mind. Your mind.
Let me see the fucking. Where's he at?
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 billion.
The popular thought
3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, Paul. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up a paper until you read over and over and see white families? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 40 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are that? Think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you used to drive a car. And if you use it wrong, then you lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to protect you? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, if we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Sack Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Weston House. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
Santana, Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down, 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind. Your mind. Your mind. Your mind. And peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought Series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. I know we starting late. Shit was crazy, man. I had some shit I had to do, man, and it just bled in to what I'm doing now. But we here, and tonight This young fella here, cut to the chase, will be here. But y'all know before we get started, I always start the stream off, man, with thanking you good folks who hang out in there and you good folks who hang out up in here. Because like I always say, you don't have to watch these damn streams. You don't have to like them, subscribe to this damn channel, and you damn sure don't have to drop your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. But you good folks, man, you choose to do so, man. You choose to do so. And for that, I'm humbled. I'm grateful. I'm honored. I'm appreciative, man. And I don't say it to kiss your black butts, because by now y'all know I don't kiss your black butts. But I say it because I genuinely mean it. And I don't take you good folks lightly. I never have. I never will. So I just want you to know, man, that I appreciate y'all. And I thank you. All right. All right. So let's get at it. I'm looking at my shit, my damn. Y'all know how that little thing comes up, in the upper left-hand corner of your of your StreamYard, and you can tell that your signal is kind of weak. That's what I'm seeing right now. So if it drops off, y'all, it ain't my fault. But anyway, the guest of honor is here. So let me bring up my vote. The one, the only, cut to the Chase TV. What's good with it, young fella?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'm doing all right, man.
Man, I've been trying to get you up here, young fella, for a minute, man. It's been a long time coming, man. I know our schedules, and I gotta apologize for being late too, man.
No problem.
It was just crazy up in here for a minute. But let me get right into it. As a matter of fact, before we get started, go ahead and tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm cut to the Chase TV. I have a commentary channel on YouTube. It's basically I do the news, but it's unfiltered. Most news reporters, they gotta give the facts, they can't really give opinions. So my channel is basically what if news reporters actually said how they felt while doing the news story. So that's kind of how I came at my channel. So that's what I do.
Now I know one of your videos made its way to World Star, right?
Yeah, the third one. That's the third time I've been on there.
Yeah. I mean, so let me ask you something. How does it feel? How is it to you to know that other mediums are taking your stuff and putting it on their site? How's that? What does that make you think of yourself?
Oh, it feels great. It means I'm doing something good and I'm doing something right. That people a bigger medium can put you on that page. That means you have something to offer. Because a lot of people like to say, well, my channel is this, my channel is that. That's proof. Because I'm the only person in this space that got asked, what are your credentials to do YouTube? I have never heard anybody else got asked that question. What are your credentials? So somebody asked me, what are my credentials? That's it. You have a bigger medium, taking something I created and showing it to the masses. So that's credentials right there. That means you have value. So,
well, I know the first time I saw you was a while back. You were on ODJs, and y'all were talking about I think it has something to do with women or money, women and money or something like that. I don't even remember. It's been a while. And I said, and I went to your channel because I hooked up with a lot of brothers through ODJ's channel. And I went to your channel and I saw the stuff that you were doing up there. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty good shit here. So what made you do that? Like, because, there's a lot of, well, first, let me say this. There's a lot of different content on media. Yeah. But then again, there's a lot of shit that's pretty similar to each. A lot of our shit is pretty similar. So I don't know too many YouTubers who do what you do. So why that? Why not the other shit? Why that? What you do?
It actually started when I was a little boy. My grandpa's from New Orleans. So I remember Hurricane Katrina was big. I was a little boy. And the channel stayed on the news in my household. and I used to watch my grandpa flip from news channel to news channel, and they'll cover it different. Some people will be criticizing George Bush the way he handled it, and other people will be taking up for him. So I became ingrained with the media, like the news. Nancy Grace, Sean Hannity. I went to Glenn Beck, Hardball with Chris Matthews. So even as a kid, as a 14, 13-year-old, I was always liking the news. I stayed watching the news. I still watch it to this day. So what I basically doing, I used to go on Facebook and I just used to speak on how I felt, like with family, friends, and classmates. So I used to get on there. I went getting a little audience. So everybody was getting the audience. I remember telling people, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. So I remember it was like yesterday. Everybody was counting down. See, I came to YouTube different because I'm just myself. I didn't come to YouTube and transform myself. I just took myself and my personality, charismatic, and just took it to the big screen. I remember my classmates, my family was like, all right, your first video. I remember like it was yesterday, like a year and like maybe 4 months ago, I uploaded my first video on YouTube. And it just kind of caught on and kept growing. And once I seen that, I just kept doing it.
So do other YouTubes on here inspire you? Do you look at other YouTubers and be like, damn, I'm gonna do something like that?
Most definitely. People in the manosphere inspire me the most, content creators. Even though people say I don't do that type of content necessarily, but those are still some of the biggest influences that I seen them do it. And I was like, I like the way he do it. And I kind of, watch and support him.
What makes you pick your stories? Like, I mean, what you go through stories and you be like, I'm doing this one right here. Where you get the stories from?
Well, how I do my stories is like I get people seeing me stuff all the time, and I don't feel like talking about it, so I don't do it. I remember it was a hot topic in the manosphere. They were talking about, is chivalry dead? So I was watching the news and they was showing a video of a 17-year-old Walter Wallace getting beat by the police. So while everybody was doing streams about, is chivalry dead, I did a video about Walter Wallace. And I remember Walter Wallace, his family emailed me and was like, you're the only person who covered it. Thank you. They only got like 8,000 views, but they like, thank you. You're the only person that covered it. Can you do us for an interview? So I talked on the phone with his mom, but she was like, they still got a lawsuit against the city, so they're not going to come on anymore. But, stuff like that. So that's what showed me like, man, I kind of got a voice. And recently I was covering the news about Dallas, like the rapper hip hop news in Dallas. And a rapper got my video taken down. He false flagged it. He said I played his music all through the video. I didn't even play his music. So he got my video taken down. It wasn't a strike, but he got it taken down. And it showed the person who put the claim in. I was like, I don't play music in the video. So I made a video calling him out. So that's when people hit me up from behind the scenes. I talked to him and he was like, yeah, you gotta watch what you say. You're a big platform. I didn't even know you watch me. He's like, yeah, everybody watch you. Everybody in the hood watch you. So that's let me know that. Damn. So I was like, he released the copyright, the copy claim, and we talked behind the scenes, and I got that video put back up this morning. So as that happened, I'm like, damn, media, like I can see what I can do with this media.
So you and the rapper chopped it up.
Yeah,
chopped it up
behind the scenes.
And he released the copyright claim, and now the video's back up.
Yeah, it was a false flag. I made a video calling him out. And he's a real street dude. But I said I show my face in my videos for a reason. You could have hit me up on Instagram because apparently you watch my stuff. If you find out if anything detrimental to your brand, give me a good reason and I'll release it. So I made that video, and that's when his people hit me up and I talked to him, and he was like, yeah, I feel like that was hurting my brand. I feel like that wasn't the whole story. I like, man, but you put out a false claim on me, so you got to release that. So as I'm growing, I realize that now it's kind of politics are starting to play a role in it. I'm no longer can really just set up a camera and get on here and just say how I feel. Now I gotta kind of, I gotta do the politics game. So
yeah, you gotta, as long as they don't put you in the corner like they do mainstream news, expect you to be politically correct. Is that the first time you've had somebody like, come at your video like, oh man, you got to take this down for a particular story you're covering?
No, I had other content creators on YouTube make videos about me. I just never respond to it. And that's why I never had beef. I realized that if you don't respond to them, they'll go away because nobody likes talking to themselves. If you make somebody talk to themselves 2 or 3 times and you just keep doing content, don't even respond to it, they'll stop talking about you. They're like, oh, he's not budging. And that's how I stay be free. And they just left me alone. So
yeah, beef when going back and forth with this person, that person. I mean, that shit takes away from your creativity, man. Because you don't really have to be creative to talk shit to somebody.
you
You know what
don't.
I'm saying? It doesn't take any creativity to do that. And the shit you do, it takes creativity. You got to gather the stories, you got to do all the bullshit, you got your green screen and all that shit going. So, that's part of your creativity. When you get up here talking shit about people, there's no creativity in that. You just turn this motherfucker on and go 1 2 1 2 and start talking shit.
Hey, yeah, and that's another reason. I actually before I started making content, because I was like, all right, how do I want to put out this content? I got a lot to say, but how do I want to present it? I was like, I can just sit in my room, hold my phone on a tripod, or sit in the car and do it. I was like, nah, that ain't how I want to present my content. I like, let me get a gaming PC built. I took like 3 or 4 grand out the bank before I even had one view. I got a gaming PC built. I got my green screen. I got this microphone, cost about 400. And my girl was like, "Why are you doing it?" I was like, "I got confidence in myself. I'm gonna bet on myself." And that's what I did, and I got more than a turn in invest. The money came back, so I just betted on myself. So I was like, I studied OBS like for a week. I've been watching tutorials. I studied the search engine optimization. I find out how you tag your video, how you try to get your video seen, because I learned that if you're gonna do content, every video you should try to attract a new audience. But I feel like a lot of people, they'll find their audience and they find like they go live, they get like 80 people. They like, all right, this is my audience. I'm gonna just keep making content for this particular audience. But me, every video, I'm not saying I'll forget about my audience, but every video I'm trying to reach new people. And that's how I take it, me, because I feel like that's the way you should do media. So that's how I do it.
Well, you don't really do live streams though. You do productions, you put your shit together. So and I think it takes, because it doesn't take a whole lot of shit to do this here. I mean, it don't. It takes a lot. You got to have a good computer. You got to have a computer that's strong enough. It's got enough, it's got enough RAM and all that kind of shit to do the shit you want to do, like green screen and shit like this. But it doesn't take a lot. When you do pre-recorded videos, man, them shits take a while. You don't slap that shit together in 3 minutes. Yeah, that shit don't happen. It's work.
Yeah, because I feel like on a live stream, you can go live and you can just interact with the chat, and that's content.
Yes.
But I feel like when you do pre-record videos, looking into that camera and talking to yourself kind of drive you crazy when you first starting out. That's how a lot of people lose confidence. It's like, all right, I just look at the camera like it's a person. I kick back, I crack jokes, you laugh at your own. It's like weird. It's still kind of, having a pre-recorded video. And plus a lot of pre-recorded videos, you can be like, all right, I took my time on this pre-recorded video. This video is the shit. It's going to get me, I'm going to get views on this. And you put it out, it's a dud.
Yeah.
So see, on pre-recorded videos, you don't really get the instant gratification. But live stream, you can say, hey man, super chat. You see the super chats coming in. I never take Cash App or super chats on my channel. A lot of people say I leave a lot of money on the table, but I just get it straight through the AdSense right now.
Yeah, and when it's like that, what that usually means is you don't need it.
No, because, yeah, that's why and this YouTube, it's been through trials and tribulations. I hear a lot of people like the faceless avatars. I got a theory on that. I like, all right, if you behind an avatar, right, and people say, well, I got a job to lose, man. I got a lot to lose in real life. All right, I respect that. But I show my face. So as you as an avatar, you get to come on the panel and get beside me and spew and infringe on my privacy and get that off. But you don't want to show your face. But I'm on camera showing my face. And you see that, because I look at it, you got to be more protective of your brand, because a lot of people don't believe in working on their brand until they reach like, I'm gonna work on my brand when I reach 100,000. No, you got to work on your brand the minute you start doing content, because you're going to get there at one point. You don't want people digging back into your old files, and you got a faceless avatar spewing all type of stuff, and your face is on the screen. So that's my theory on Avatar. You say you got a lot to lose, then stop infringing on other people's privacy. They're showing their face and getting it off. That's just my theory on that.
So you don't really deal with the people who are faceless. Like if you was say you do you ever plan on doing any live streams?
Yeah, I built my computer just to do live streams. When I first built my channel, I thought I was gonna be doing live streams like everybody else. So I built my whole PC because if you're gonna do pre-recorded videos, I don't really need this high-end PC. So it cost me like a couple thousand to get it built.
Oh, I know.
I want to present my news as live streams. So I'm definitely going to get into live streams, gang. Most definitely.
So are you going to be doing it the same way? Like, are you going to come on? Because I know sometimes you have on like different outfits and, and you sit there and you have the screen is there. Is it going to be the same thing except live?
Yeah, it's gonna be the exact same thing except live. And I said I'm gonna do stories, concurrent stories. I'm gonna run it down. Have the news music playing in the background. I'm gonna run down the stories, just like how a news station do.
Yeah, well, I think it's very interesting that you do content that's different from everybody else's. Cause a lot of our shit, let's be honest, a lot of our shit is pretty similar up here. And that's fine. I mean, people can do whatever the hell they want to do, but do you consider yourself part of the quote unquote space, the spear space? I like to say, do you consider yourself part of that?
Every time they come out with the Black Manosphere list, I'm on there. I get nominated for awards, but I do consider myself the space, but my audience is not even Black Manosphere audience because I look at my analytics and they tell you what videos my viewers are watching, what channels.
Yes.
And I'm up there, and the same people that watch Vlad TV, DJ Academics, all the hip hop stuff, that's who watch my channel. The Manosphere really don't. So, but people do. They say, I guess they see me and they be like, okay, this is a young dude who's doing media. He's part of the Spear. So I guess it's more like that. But as far as people saying, all right, cut to the Chase TV, y'all go to his channel, hey, that don't really happen.
So do you think that's a good thing that you're not connected to, some of the other stuff in this quote unquote Spear space? Do you think that that's good for your channel, that you're not, necessarily, considered, one of the brothers that's, in the so-called space?
Not really, because I feel like if I did this type of content, I would just stay in foot first in it. Because I'll be showing my face. I just believe if you're gonna get on here and you're gonna spew that, especially the stuff we talk about, we ain't giving up government intel. Let's just be honest. We talk about our problems, our ideologies. Ain't nobody. So if I feel like I did it, I think I'd be a good asset to the space if I did this type of content primarily, but I don't. So I don't think it's necessarily bad because I like the space. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't run from it. Somebody say you Black Manosphere, I'm standing 10 toes in it. Hey, you Black Manosphere. Some people do this. All right, we got good and bad. We got bad albums, but I'm gonna always support the space as a whole. I feel like the space is good. I have it on the big screen. I chill with women. I'm sitting there watching a live stream. They think we nuts. I be like, they're like, what are you watching? Like, what? Watching my boy. My middle school teacher is on my channel. My mom called me a sexist. My sister got mad at my Black Lives Matter video. Me and my brother got in a shouting match over a video before because it's real people connected to my channel, people I know, like, so I have little splats here and there. So I feel like I just stand on it. If I say something, like a lot of people in my city, they did the same videos I did about the rap community in Dallas. They on videos with ski masks. They remain anonymous. I just get on camera.
Yeah.
And I went to a Christmas party. I went to a Christmas party with my cousin, and we had to go to the mall and get some clothes. I'm like, let's go to the mall. He's like, man, I can't go to the mall with you, bro. He was like, man, you're already getting messages on Instagram, the videos you be putting out, and so people are really scared. I just still move around. If I say something, I want to be held accountable. I'm not really afraid of that. So
So you got people hitting you up on Instagram talking crap about your videos.
Yeah, they
Are
don't
they
like. Yeah, they don't like what I said. They don't like. They don't like um the truth. Like they's like, cut. We can't wait to see you on Instagram. I'd be like, okay, that just comes with it. Yeah, I don't really get too
yeah.
deep into it.
Yeah, because you kind of cover that, those crazy freaking dysfunctional things that we talk about. I mean, you had that shit on the screen.
Yeah,
Wow, you talk. I think that's what I really like about this stuff because we get on here and we talk about shit, but I mean, you're talking about it and the shit is actually right there while you're seeing it. So, and nothing can be left to the imagination because not only are you discussing it, we can see the shit at the same time. So I think that's actually pretty ingenious. Actually, I wish I had thought of it.
and
But
check this out.
go ahead, go ahead.
And I don't just do it for shock value because people will be like, do this story. I'm like, I'm not at home right now. They're like, just upload it to your YouTube channel. I gotta add commentary to it. Because for me, just to throw a clip up and be like, look at that. I gotta add commentary because you can like open somebody's eyes up. And I got the emails to prove it. I got a retired cop who says I inspire him. He watched my channel for laughs. He get off what I'm saying. I got an autistic boy who wrote me. I got white kids, black kids. They all write me and say I inspire them. Well, I got people saying, hey, this happened. We need you to cover it. They can go to CNN and get the story. They can go to MSNBC, but they'd rather hear me talk about it. So that's what I'm realizing, man. Media is very powerful, man.
Yeah,
So,
it's very fluid too. So you have people that send you stories.
yeah, people
Do
send me
people send you
stories.
stories?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple stories, man, and I was like, damn, man, I should send these motherfuckers. I've seen a couple stories where I was like, damn, I should send these motherfuckers to cut to the Chase TV,
Yeah.
But I want the shit to be anonymous, though. Don't tell nobody I sent
Yeah.
it.
I agree.
This shit
Yeah.
anonymous. So if y'all see a couple stories that y'all didn't see before and cut to the chase, I didn't send them motherfuckers. So
Yeah.
y'all
Send
just
me
gotta
stories, man.
guess which ones I sent them. But
Yeah.
let me ask you about this because I'm pretty sure you see what's been going on lately, around here the last couple of weeks, months, or whatever. What's your take on the stuff that's going on right now? What's your take on the state of this whole YouTube shit in a whole right now?
Like black YouTube, like what's
Yes.
going on? If you just work on content, me, I support I think a brotherhood. I look at me doing media, you doing media. You don't have to have the same ideology of me as me. I'm not gonna rage war on you because you think a different way than me. And I feel like we're supposed to be, they say black brotherhood, and I see that they look for any reason not to like you as a black man. The minute you say something that they don't agree with, they rage war. But see, I'm smart enough and bright enough to know, like, all right, he's doing media. He might have a different take on it than me. He might be less extreme or more extreme than me, but that's a brother doing media. So I'm gonna stay out his way, and he should stay out of mine. I'm not gonna create a live stream trying to tell you, convince you why you're wrong, because that's just small talk. Doing videos about another content creator that is really not going, it's just gonna have the same people jumping from stream to stream. You're not gonna reach a new audience doing that. So if you do a stream I disagree with, I'm gonna watch it. I might disagree with it, but it's no dirt off my back. I'm gonna still work on my content. So I feel like it's too many people playing into the audience, too many people playing into the chat. All right, now it's beefing, and it's just beefing about nonsense. So I think of Black Brotherhood. I think about we all doing media, whether you're a dating coach, whether you have a different. I never try to mess up with nobody money. Get your money. Cause I look at white dudes, they do it all the time. Like people say, yo, cut. Sometimes your content can be detrimental. It shows dysfunction. And I get that a lot. You're showing dysfunction, but somebody's getting paid for that. So why not let a young brother do it? At least he's doing some good out there. Instead of trying to say, hey, I shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. Because when a white person do it, they make big money off of it. So I'm just trying to get my cut.
Well, the type of material that you do, and you know how we are as black folks, I'm pretty sure you get a lot of people that are more upset with you over the material and the news that you do than they do the person who committed the offense. They're more mad at you. They could have chopped somebody's head off in the middle of downtown. But if you talk about it, you're worse than the person carrying the axe. Do you get a lot of that shit?
Yes, I get that a lot. I done got into it with family. I done got into it with everybody. Somebody, people in the comments. I had somebody ask me, "Damn, you looking at the people leave comments under your video, man? And you that don't make you mad? Don't make you sad?" I'm like, no, because I put it out there. It's for people to critique it. You can say what you want about me. If you disagree with the video, I'm gonna leave it up because that's what I want. I want dialogue because I'm not gonna show the video. I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. And you can't say I'm wrong because it's gonna be playing on the screen. And so I get a lot of I got people that like me, people that dislike me. But I noticed that the people that dislike me, they tend to comment on every video. So that let me know that they follow me. So negative comments is just as good as positive comments to me. And somebody saying cut to the chase, you're a great content creator. I take that as the same as somebody saying you suck because they'll be back on my next video telling me how that mean you following me? So you're subscribed. So well,
a lot of them are just fans perpetrating as haters, man. There's a lot of that here anyway. You know, I say that a lot. These dudes, a lot of them are fans just perpetrating our hate us as haters because they're really fans because they're in every chat. They're commenting under every video, you know, but for some reason they hate you so much, but they just can't stay away. They can't stay away.
And sometimes people will leave a stupid comment under your video, and then you respond to it, and then they respond back, and they just wanted your attention. They just wanted you to respond back to them. And they're like, "Oh yeah," then they start laughing. "Yeah, what's up? Good job." But you just criticize my video. Now that I respond back to you, now it's good video cut. I just like I love them though, man. I love them all, man.
Yeah, man. You know, do you find that you can't really take this YouTube media stuff too seriously? Like, I mean, because we know a lot of people are very wrapped up into this stuff, you know, because YouTube itself is like the damn Sims, you know, it's like the Sims game. So do you find yourself that it's better for you to not take it so seriously like some of the rest of us may?
Yeah, I don't take it. And you know, I cover a story. I got jokes in my video. I'm always smiling, always laughing. Because let's just be clear, I'm not gonna save the world with my YouTube channel. I mean, that's how you end up becoming a madman. You think you're gonna save the world with your YouTube channel. It's good to put your ideas out there, but YouTube is primarily for entertainment. And so don't get mad at me if I choose to go to entertainment, right? Well, cut you doing it off dysfunction, and I'm trying to do it for this cause, like a righteous cause, but I just choose to do it. I do it more entertainment. So I don't take it much serious at all. I look at it as entertainment value. Even if I see somebody on the stream yelling and screaming at each other, once I hit that, get off of YouTube, I'm back to my personal life, spending time with my son. You know, doing that. You know, that's why I don't dislike anybody. Somebody might talk crap about me in the chat, might cuss me out. I see him. I'm not mad at them the next day. Or I'm not gonna chase them on another stream to have to finish to finish what I gotta say up to them. Once, you know, I just laugh it off. I like to throw little light jabs at somebody, you know, just this is called banter, really. It's just banter. It's just like what we do in real life. You kind of rag on somebody. Y'all go back and forth. It's called the dozens, and then you go on with your life. Same.
Yeah. You said something very important. You said, I'm not going to save the world with my YouTube page. And I think a lot of people believe that they fucking are. I talk about this shit a lot. Like, motherfucker, this is YouTube, man. You're making YouTube videos is what you're doing. You know, you can't sit up. Well, you know, I'm building, you know, I'm changing this and I'm changing that. And I'm, man, get the fuck out of here. You're making videos, man. It only helps who it helps. Yeah. All right. I talked about this the other day, and we were talking about what's good, brother Taylor, my man. I see you up there, brother. We were talking about how a lot of people have this quote unquote God complex where they get up here and they think they the most influential motherfucker in the world because they got a YouTube channel. And what they don't understand, what I think they don't understand is this. It's sort of like preaching to the choir in a sense. Because see, you only reach the people. That's why I want to go to something else you said. You said something else very important too. I'll get to that in a minute. You only reach the people who watch you all the fucking time. The people who watch you all the time. So if you're only talking to these same people, whether it's 5 people, 50 people, 500 people, or 5,000 people, if you're only talking to these same people, you only have influence over these people. That's it. Now, you said something. You said every time you get on here, you try to reach a different audience. Now, that's different because, see, I've never heard anyone else say that. You're the only one who's ever came up here and say, well, I make my videos because I want to reach other kind of people. You're the only one who says that. So you know what that means? That means that you probably have more influence than someone who preaches to the same group of motherfuckers all the time. You understand? You understand what I'm getting at?
I exactly know what you're saying.
So I mean, I think we overinflate the amount of power we got because we on this fucking microphone and cameras and shit. All right, because I'm a true believer that the real work gets done on the fucking ground, not on this fucking mic. But that's just me. What's good with it, brother KIT? Yo, brother KIT, I'm gonna need you, man. Tomorrow, man, I got a double header, brother. You gotta come through, man, if you can, man, my brother. But do you find that when you go, do you ever, so you never pick your content from other quote unquote content? All of your stuff is about stories that's in the news or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So do you find that people come to you and be like, hey man, brother Cut, man, you ain't building, man. You ain't you ain't on there teaching the people. You ain't on there, uplifting folks. Do you get that?
Yeah, I had people in this space tell me that. They just poo-poo me being on World Star, me getting 800,000 views on a video, me getting 400,000 views on a video. They say, hey, you get views off dysfunction. Anybody can do that. I'm actually teaching people with my channel. And and when people say that, it's a way to cope with it. With you might not get as much views, but I'm doing it for a righteous cause. Because if anybody just can just get on here and do it, it's hard to get views on YouTube. Anybody just can't just talk about dysfunction and get. You gotta be entertaining. You gotta be charismatic as well. So somebody just saying, "Well, I'm teaching, man," and you just doing it all dysfunction. I got people tell me that. I just laugh. Okay, we'll see. So yeah. So a lot of people poo-poo it. Well, what organizations do you have cut to the chase? And I'm 27 years old. So I mean,
yeah. Do they come in though with telling you the organizations they have?
No, not at all. I had a content creator that wanted a one-on-one interview with me. He's a big content creator in this space. He wanted a one-on-one interview about the organizations I have. Oh, you think you're doing something? I was like, I just want to do my content, man.
Yeah,
that's all I want to do, man.
I was I had a doctor up here, PhD. Well, I've had quite a few of them up here. Yeah. And I asked them, we're all on YouTube, yes, but every single YouTube page, I think this is where people get it twisted up. They think that every single freaking YouTube page that comes up here should be a fucking classroom. And that's okay for them to think that. But for them to expect that is insane. Because, see, not everybody comes up here to teach. Some people come up here to do comedy. Some people come up here to roast. Some people come up here to let you watch they damn cat play the fucking piano. So you can't expect everybody to get up here and this becomes some classroom. That's very unrealistic to think that shit, because you got too many different kind of people up here. But also, these same people who want to get up here and tell you how, your stuff ain't doing this and your stuff doing that, go to their fucking channel. You know what you find? A whole lot of the same bullshit that they're critiquing everybody else about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's this whole it's all right for me, but it's not all right for thee. All right.
Yeah.
I can talk shit about people. I can fucking download other people's videos, stop it, pause it, analyze it, do all this bullshit. But this same person will turn around. Well, how does it look if I'm taking other people's shit and I'm talking crap about other people? Analyzing their content. My content is a fucking analysis of their content. Then I jump over and talk about how their material ain't shit. Their material is lame. But wait a minute. You're fucking taking these people's shit and you're breaking it up, and their content is your fucking content. Do you have people do that to your stuff? Do people take your stuff and break it down and pause it and do all this bullshit?
Yeah, I had people do that to me. Nicely edit it, rewind. I keep rewinding my catchphrase. They took some excellent editing work. You took some time to piece together my content, break it up. I know about editing. It takes time to do that. So
oh yeah.
I mean, damn, you're doing hours worth of a video I did. It took me 5 to 7 minutes to do, and you're gonna break it down, rewind it. So yeah, I have people do that. That's my content is your content. Then flag it. I just okay. Never responded. Never responded.
They pause your shit and be like, well, you see what he did here. Oh, you see when he said this here. Oh, wait a minute. You see when he said this here? Like, the fuck, man. To me, that's like the craziest thing in the world. To me.
Yeah,
all right?
That's crazy.
Because why on earth would I want to take your video, make a video out of your video, but I'm stopping it and all this kind of bullshit to show you how whack your video is? It can't be that whack, motherfucker. You got it on your shit, analyzing it. If it's that fucked up, why even put it on? I mean, I don't get it, man. I don't understand a lot of the shit that I see on YouTube. Maybe I'm just old and stupid. I don't old and foolish. I don't know what's going on, but to me it just seems absurd, man. A lot of shit that I see up here, man.
Sometimes I'll be sitting here, me being young, I'll be like, how I end up in this situation? How did I fall? It just be a lot of crazy mess going on, man. Analyzing what you say in the live stream, break it down, piece together. I mean, whole detective work.
Mm-hmm. While they sit up there and tell you how whack it is. Motherfucker, if I think something is this whack or out of line or insane, the last thing I want to do is run it through my filter. All right. I don't want that shit on my shit. If it's that bad, why would I want it on my shit?
Especially to my audience. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's so bad. But see, this is what pisses me off about YouTube a lot. And I know people don't like when you say these kind of things, but at my age, I don't give a shit what people don't like. What people want to be able to, because they think that they have some type of fucking ability where they can shame you. They can drag you across the carpet, digitally. Because like I said, this is like The Sims, digital house, digital money, digital car, digital job, all that shit. So they think they can drag you across the carpet, and it's supposed to have some fucking effect on your life. Like, are you motherfuckers realistic? Do you really believe that you can shame me to the point where I'm going to come back on here and say, You know what, man? You were right. I'm ashamed of myself for that video that I made that you took and cut up and stopped and paused. And I'm ashamed of myself for making it. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Get up out of here with that shit, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I agree,
So,
man.
so when they take your stuff, I mean, because I don't understand why they would take your stuff and cut it up. Do they have a problem with the way you're reporting it? Do they have a problem with, the way you're piecing it? What could they possibly be doing that with your shit over?
Mine was had a problem with me reporting what I reported. How come you never cover such and such? He's anti-black? I'll be like, some of the craziest things that was said about me, man.
Oh, you mean to tell me you got the old why you don't never talk about white people?
Yeah, and I do. Yeah, man. Why just us on the screen?
Why you don't know? White people do it too. I know you done got that, boy.
All the
White people
time.
do it too. I mean, I'm so sick of hearing that shit, man. It's like, man, we know white people do it, God damn it. But see, the thing is, if you talked about white folks like the way you cover the news, right? Say all you did was white folks. Don't you know Negroes would have a problem with that too?
Yeah.
They would say you're covering them wrong. They would say it. And it would and the crazy thing is it wouldn't be these other people, it'd be the same people who say, you don't talk about white folks. Them same people will be talking about, oh man, you covered them white folks wrong.
Yeah.
That's what you get here, man. Like, and that's why I've been taking this shit less and less serious over the course of time. If I didn't like doing this shit, I probably would have been stopped a long time ago. Cause see, I don't make no lot of money on this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, man. I tell people this shit all the time. If there was a launch a fucking missile through YouTube tonight, guess what? That shit wouldn't affect my bottom line at all. I wouldn't lose my house, my cars, my business. I wouldn't lose shit. My woman, I wouldn't lose none of that shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't rely on YouTube like that. I tell motherfuckers all the time, you know what I do with this YouTube money? I take that shit. I may buy me a box or two of good cigars and fucking dog food for my mutt. That's what I usually do with the little bit of money that I get. I take that shit, I buy dog food, and buy me, gotta buy me maybe a box or two of good cigars, but that's it. I don't do anything else with it. And I put money in. I mean, I donate to all the brothers I watch, I drop a few dollars on them. If I watch you, I drop a few dollars on you. If it ain't nothing but $5, $10. If I watch you, I drop a few bucks on you. So I put more money into this shit.
And
then I get out of it.
Yeah.
All right. That's just the way it is. I put more money in, then I get out of it. So if I didn't like doing this shit, man, I would have been stopped because motherfuckers up here are insane.
Exactly.
Some of these motherfuckers are insane, man. I truly believe they're fucking insane. But let me ask you this, man, because I know I don't got you long. God damn it.
Y'all, we rocking, we chilling, man. Take your time. You got time, man. We chilling.
Let me have you ever because there's been a lot of talk about black male media, because I consider you to be black male media. You actually cover news stories, so that's media. We've been talking a lot lately about brothers going mainstream. Do you see yourself going mainstream with what you do? Because with what you do, you can kind of slip in that door because of what you do.
Yeah, I look at it like every story I do, every video, I do it that certain way because I do want to go mainstream. I make no bones about it. I don't want to be on YouTube, just on here, just running my mouth all the time. I actually want to use my YouTube for other. I done had talent scouts hit me up, wanted me to do stand up. Think I could be a comedian. Look, I got a sponsor now, so it's just, and it's a black woman too. But so I do want to navigate, take this YouTube. YouTube is just how I got started. I do want to branch out. That's why I do the news story. That's why you never see me really talking about my relationship issues, or I just kind of just stay in my lane, do my little news stories. No matter what the space is talking about, it could be a hot story, but you're gonna see cut to the chase. Oh, okay, everybody talking about this. You see me upload a whole different type of video. I tend to go the opposite of what everybody else do. If I see everybody talk about something in this space, all right, that means I need to go the opposite. So that's how I do.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too, man. I try not to cover the shit that's trending. Yeah, if it's trending, I'm usually doing the opposite shit, man. You know, and there's so much of this on media, especially this damn YouTube shit. There's so much of people talking about other people, not really people talking about, events or situations or crises or whatever. There's a lot of people talking about other people. All right. And I guess, like I said, that's what they want to do. And I never tell a motherfucker what not to do on their page. All I know is I'm not interested in the shit. I'm not interested in a bunch of motherfuckers sitting around talking about somebody else. All right. The only way I'm going to do that is if, like we did last week, if we have a common foe, all right, if there's a group of us and we have a common foe, then we can discuss it. But more than likely, we're not going to discuss that person. We're going to discuss that person's actions. You understand? Yeah. We'll discuss their actions, not so much discuss them. Of course, we're discussing them, but we're more into what they're doing as opposed to, who they are per se, So I'm not really into that whole, watching motherfuckers talk about people and man, the fuck out of here. I have enough of that shit, man. I got enough of that shit. I got a teenage granddaughter. I see that kind of shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm around a bunch of women. I see that kind of bullshit all the time. They sit around and talk about the next motherfucker. So that shit to me, I've totally stopped watching. I've tried to stop. Totally done with that shit. That shit, I don't want nothing to do with it, man. And any motherfucker that I see doing it, I fucking unsubscribe. I unsubscribe. I don't even tell them that I'm doing it either. I just do it. I don't say, oh man, I'm unsubscribing. Nope.
I had to do that. I had to cleanse. I had to clean up my subscription feed. It was too much negativity on my timeline. I was like, I looked at my timeline one day. It was just negative streams, whole top row. I was like, I gotta unsubscribe.
You gotta unsubscribe from some of them shits because the fucking, titles. The fucking title be, oh, this dude's a sucker. Oh, this dude moms gave me a BJ. You see that shit? You're like, man, I don't even want this shit.
Yeah.
I don't even want this shit in my feed. I'm not gonna watch it anyway. But when you look to the side of your shit, you see that little red. You see it in red, that little red live mark, and these titles are just absurd. Just totally absurd. Oh, he's a homo. Man, I don't need this. And I don't even want to see this shit lit up. If that's what you're doing down there, do it. All right. Yeah. Like you said, I don't want that shit in my feed. I just don't want it around me, that negative bullshit. Go ahead and keep it, motherfucker. Whatever negative shit I got going on, motherfucker, I want to be the one to bring it. I don't want it from your ass.
Exactly.
So you don't do a lot of panels either. I know. I don't see you, and I watch a lot of motherfuckers, and I don't see you on panels like that. I think I've seen you. Well, I saw you on ODJs a while back. I think I saw you on maybe 1 or 2 panels since then. The places that I frequent. Why do you not go on panels more?
That's how most beefs start out. You say something somebody don't like, y'all might go into a little back and forth. Next thing you know, you log off thinking everything. Oh yeah, you go into YouTube, they talking about you Cut to the chase. This is why he need to be eradicated, removed from the space. I was like, man. So I just like, let me just stay off panel. I don't want nobody running to their channel to strike up a stream. And people be in the chat cheering that on. Yeah, you telling them off. YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's just panels can be too toxic because everybody is fighting for that audience. People talking over each other, and then who could be the most extreme to get a reaction? It's like people, it's not even a genuine conversations most of the time. Somebody will come on a panel just to blow it up. Yeah. Like the reason why I really was gonna stop doing interviews in the space because I'm cut to the chase TV, right? I feel like if you're gonna interview somebody, I get what the space is about, but why you should utilize people talents and people interests. Should have cut to the chase TV. They open up a panel up and we all talk about the beef with women and this and that. And my face is on here. And then you got avatar. And my name is in the title and they talking about something else.
Yeah.
So now I see why the bigger you get, the reason why people be all right, if you're going to have me on here, I need to know, I see why people do that. It's to protect your brand. Because you got an avatar just talking all type of crazy stuff and your face is right there. But all right, you show your face. Why you care about how I look? No, because I want you to be able to stand on. I notice, like, if somebody show their face, they're standing on what they're saying.
Yes.
I don't do that in real life. If somebody's anonymous, I'm not listening to you. If you can't be upfront and show me, then why the hell I need to listen to you? Yeah, you ain't giving me no intel against the government. You talking about your strife with women and feminism, man. And you scared to stand on that? Then all right, man.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because
if you're willing to get up here and show yourself, I mean, you kind of you down for your shit, man. Whatever you say, you're willing to stand behind it. Because guess what? I tell people all the time, it's a small world. You can run into a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker recognize you.
I did videos about real street dudes that I live in Dallas. I'm from Dallas. I know I don't get on here. I show my face and I told them, hey, hold me accountable. That's me standing on what I say. I don't got a ski mask on. I just stand on because if I'm gonna put something out there, if I'm gonna open my mouth and you got a problem with it, you need to know who to come and address. You need to know who's saying it. I don't believe in remaining. That I say I seem like a coward doing it because I want to do some videos without me being on camera. You know how some people do like the commentary, but it's like they edit it where they just hear their voice and they got like stock footage. I no, I got to get on camera. I want people to see when I say this, I want them to see, look at me dead in my eyes so they can know. That's how I just look at things. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's admirable. Because there is an element of anonymity on YouTube. You can get up here and then some shit can happen and that shit'll get back to your job or whatever the case may be. See, I work for myself. I run my own business. So
bingo,
there is nobody to fire me.
If you're talking about my job, then you got to get your shit together then. So
if you have the type of job that you have to hide, you have to hide while you're on YouTube saying your shit. That, to me, I see that as maybe, just maybe, the shit that you're saying doesn't really align with your life. Cause I've ran into people, I mean, I live in North Carolina, and I've ran into people who actually watch me. All right. That actually watch me on YouTube. And, when they came up, they didn't come up with a knife or a gun or wanted to kill me or no shit like that. They was like, yo, X, man, we watch you on YouTube, man. You a crazy motherfucker. It was more of that kind of shit. They didn't walk up like, yo, X, man, I want you to get these hands. Well, it was nothing like that. So, I mean, and I say the world is smaller, so you never know who you're going to run into. But what I want to say is this. I mean, if you're a person who shows your face and you're willing to show people who you are, guess what? That at the very least says you're not, I know off top that you're not a coward. All right. Because at the very least, you willing to show your damn face. You willing to let people know what you look like, despite of what you said, like you said, you're willing to stand. You're willing to stand on what you're saying, So when you hear people say, oh, well, man, I don't show myself, man, because, I might lose my job. I might, I don't want people to know what I'm doing. And a lot of that shit is bullshit.
Yeah, it's bull crap.
A lot of that shit is straight bullshit, because a lot of these motherfuckers who don't show their motherfucking face ever, okay? It ain't about their job. It ain't about none of that shit. The motherfuckers are hiding. A lot of them are hiding.
Exactly.
All right? It's not, I'm not saying that it's all of them. I'm not even saying that it's the majority of them. A lot of these motherfuckers are just hiding, period. They're hiding. Because, see, they don't even have a picture of themselves.
And you know what? I think about it, man. When they say they're not showing themselves, they just on YouTube having a discussion. They ain't really moving and shaking like with legislation and laws. They ain't really, it's just a YouTube discussion. People really don't care in the big world. I'm gonna be honest with you. They really don't care about you having a discussion about whatever you feel like is bothering you. Your job is not looking for you all on YouTube and gonna call you in the office because you're having a video about your problem with women or whatever issue you got. It's just people just don't want to stand on what they say. Don't want to be exposed. But you got nothing to hide, and nobody talk more crap than me. Nobody put out I get on camera, I say this is stupid. You should be doing this and that. If I'm not who I say I am, people will come out and say, I get exposed. Hey, yo, cut to the chase. He did this, he did that. Here's his criminal record. So,
yeah,
that's what I think. People just don't really want to. They hide.
They're full of shit, man. There's a lot of full of shit motherfuckers on media, man. And what media has done for a lot of us is it allows us to get up here and more than likely say a bunch of shit that we would never say any fucking where else around anybody else. I mean, let's be honest, man. I mean, that's what it allows you to do. And guess what? You probably got more motherfuckers listening to you up here than you will ever have in your real life. I mean, you ain't going to be somewhere speaking to 500 motherfuckers. You ain't going to be nowhere speaking to 1,000 people. I mean, the chances of that are slim and none. Exactly. It just is. A lot of us won't even be sitting around speaking to 5 people at once, where we just standing there and 5 people are just looking at us like, and we just talking.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, man. And what I think media has allowed people to think that, they've got this power. Like I was saying earlier, because you got people up here who will tell you, don't go to this person's channel. Don't let this person on your channel. Why you in this person's chat? Like, really? Really? Do you get that? Do you get that?
Yeah, I get that. I done seen people beefing, and I leave a comment, and I hear people, oh, cut to check. You were just in such and such stream. Okay. I mean, y'all beef. I'm not gonna pick. I'm not in no clique. I'm not a part of a team. I'm just supporting. I'm just part of the space. I'm just supporting. But you ever wonder why you'll see somebody, they might have like 50 people in the chat, and then they'll stay on there like for 8 hours, and then they'll come back later on in the day for 8 hours, because this is the only interaction they have with people in life. See, I do my 5-minute video, and I'm into the real world. I gotta go, man. Like after this interview, I'm gonna go somewhere right now. So I just do it 5 minutes first. That's all you can get right now, man. I did a live stream, and a lot of people showed me love, but after 24, 30 minutes, I gotta get up out of here. Now I'm sitting in this chair just talking to y'all. I gotta go out there and be productive. So this the only interaction. They're like, I'm a nobody in real life. So I get on here on YouTube. I might get 50 people in the chat. That's a lot to me because it's the only human interaction I have.
I'm the man. And shout out to my man, brother Third Ward, because me and him was talking, I think it was a couple weeks ago. Him and For the Record TV. Shout out to For the Record TV. Get on down and subscribe to my folks. And he said something, man, that really stuck out, man. He said, if you up here 10, 12, 16 hours a day. What time do you have to brush your teeth? What time do you have to wash your ass? What time do you have to sleep? What time do you have to change your clothes? What time, and he was exactly right. That's why I keep referring to Brother Third Ward, because ain't no way in the hell I could, because I've been coming, well, you follow me. I've been coming
Yeah.
on the same nights for years.
Yeah.
For years, same nights, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe a Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe a Friday. You know why? Because these are the only fucking nights I got free to fuck with this shit. I can't do it. I can't do it other times. I can't.
Hey, it been times I went to work, I'm listening to a stream, you know. I look at the panel before I clock in, like, okay. And I clock back out. It's the same panel, look exactly like I'm refreshing my phone, like it'd be live. Like, damn, y'all been on for like damn 9-10 hours. Like, god damn.
Y'all been on for 25 hours. That shit that went over to the next day is shit.
I'm fresh. I'm like, dang, is this live? I'm hitting the live button, and they still be live.
No, I can't. I mean, if I did it more, I probably would make a few more coins. But I mean, like I said, everybody who follow me they know my days that I come on Wednesday and Thursday. Now this week, I'm gonna go because I didn't do anything yesterday because I had something to do. So what I'm gonna do is, I take Fridays off. That's why I do Thursdays. I can run pretty late on a Thursday because I take Fridays off. So this week I'm doing a show tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. And tonight and tomorrow are both double headers because after you, I got somebody fucking else coming on that hit me up today, want to come on and run their damn mouth. But yeah, man, I don't know how they do it. I mean, I don't know how they squeeze that much time in a day because I'm telling you, there's no way I could do this shit, Brother Cut, for fucking especially like in the daytime. Absolutely not. There's no way I'd be able to do it. I mean, they better men than me, boy. I don't know how they be on this shit 12, 14 hours every motherfucking day, man. Like, but like my man Third Ward said, motherfuckers must not be bathing, must not be gargling, must not be showering, motherfuckers ain't sleeping, motherfuckers wearing the same clothes and all that kind of shit. So I guess it doesn't matter.
And sometimes it be people that don't even have channels. So I look at this person like, all right, you devoting 8 hours of your time, 9, 10, 12 hours just to participate on a panel. Man, at least start you a channel so you can make a little bread. You just doing that for free. And you at least make a little bread. The person reading just at least make you a little bread. Create you. I tell you got a lot to say on panels. Well, create you a channel so you can make a little bread. That's what I say, because I be seeing some people on panels that I know they be on panels so much. I know them by name. I know their voice. Man, brother, you might want to start a channel then, man.
Yeah, it's bad when, because I listen to brothers sometimes when I work. I mean, I can't watch them, but I can put my Bluetooth headphones on, and like put my phone in my pocket. And sometimes, like you said, I hear certain motherfuckers. I'll be like, oh shit, that's such and such.
Yeah.
He was on the goddamn stream that I was listening to like 2 hours ago. Then you flip to somebody else, motherfucker, over there too. I'm like, God damn, this motherfucker in both chat rooms. He on both streams at one time. Like, what the hell, man? Like, shit, everywhere you go, they are there.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. I got a son to feed, man. And I got a son, man. I'm a proud father, man. I had videos with my son on my channel at one point in time, but I was displaying like fatherhood. But as you kind of grow, you gotta delete all the videos, them type of videos. You gotta put them on private now. So
yeah, but because you can't, Negroes up here, are strange. They will go and they will go into your photos and shit like that and show your baby and show your baby mama and show your wife and your mom and all this kind of bullshit. As if, I mean, what does that do? That's what I want to know. What does that do for you?
Absolutely nothing, man.
What do you do? What do you think you're doing by putting a picture of my dad on the screen? A picture of my wife on the screen.
Yeah.
What? What are you doing? Oh, you get the laugh? Gotcha. Aha, gotcha, Negro. I gotcha. I mean, because you're not gonna do shit. It's not like you coming to see nobody. You're not. You're not. So putting these pictures and all this kind of, because I've seen people, man. I have seen people put pictures of people's wives and girlfriends as their fucking avatar. Like somebody that they got a problem with, they'll take a picture of the motherfucker daughter, take a picture of the motherfucker wife, and make that their avatar. Like, what the fuck are
Yeah.
you doing, man? Why are
That's
you
why
doing that?
that's why I don't go back and forth on streams, because you can't even hold somebody accountable. If you beef on with somebody on YouTube and they do something, you can't really hold them accountable. Like
Nope.
at least if it's in person, like it's same y'all it's like a real rival in person. But on YouTube, they can push it to go real far with it, and they will do that. I seen people go to certain lengths just so they won't look like they losing in the war of
Yeah.
words. Okay, he said this about me, therefore I stream to be get more extreme, and they just go back and forth. They playing into the audience. You see 500 people in the chat. People share it on their community walls, so the audience plays a role in that as well. Because
Yeah.
if people be like, man, what is you doing? If you make a motherfucker feel stupid for doing that type of stuff, they won't be so quick to do it. But when we all pile into the chat, we laugh, we cracking jokes, we all join on the panel and join in. That's the culture you're creating. When you see somebody get roasted and everybody in the chat sharing it, don't nobody share a stream more than beef. The beef streams get shared the most. I be on my YouTube, if somebody roasting somebody, look at them, fire, got the fire sign emoji. And that's the
Yeah.
culture we created
Yeah.
in this space. No.
Yeah, and I mean, it's yeah, you're right, brother Reggie. I think it is. Yeah, brother Reggie. It does get pettier and pettier. You know, I mean, it's just oh, my man. Appreciate that, brother KIT. It does get pettier and pettier because you know, you got grown ass men up here, man, that are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, man, doing this shit. All right. It's not like these motherfuckers are teenagers or even in their 20s. These motherfuckers in their 30s, in their 40s, and their 50s doing this kind of shit. You know, juvenile shit, way juvenile shit. And you would think that once you get a particular age, you go out of that bullshit. Now, I know you a young fella. What are you like in your 20s, right?
Yeah, I just turned 27. So
My sons are older than you. All right. I got 4 kids. You're only older than one of them. All right. To let you know how old a motherfucker I am. Right.
yeah.
But you got dudes in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And them motherfuckers are way less mature than you, man. You're a mature young man. You're actually a mature young man.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's twice your age on this motherfucker, man.
Hey, that would shock me, man, because I don't really look. A lot of people on this, they're older than me. I don't really look at them as elders. I look at them as like petulant children when they do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
this the dude I'm supposed to listen to? You sitting there yelling like a lunatic over a disagreement on YouTube, man. I'm not following you, man. I just do my own thing. And you don't like it, you're just gonna have to deal with it. So that would shock me. I thought, because you look at I'm 40, people be like, I'm 47. I'm like, man, you were just going back and forth, a person you never met, and most of the time it's over ideology. How this person operates doesn't affect you in real life. Nothing nobody does on YouTube affects me, so I don't even speak on them. I'm not going to do a stream to my audience about you.
Once I reach up and close this motherfucking laptop, all you motherfuckers go away, and you don't come back until I open the laptop up again. Okay? I mean, that's where I'm at. I mean, and people give me rip over that because X, man, you know, YouTube is It's the biggest search engine in America. It reaches many, many people and all this kind of nonsense. Fine. Still, when I reach and grab this motherfucker and close it, you motherfuckers still all go away. Even with all of that said, you still go away and you don't come back till I'm ready for you to come back. So I have the power over my material intake, not you. And I think we underestimate that. I think we actually think we are in control of what people can take in. We think we're in control of this shit, man. Not in control of what people take in, man.
Because when you have when you do panel therapy, you become emotionally connected to him. If somebody sat on a panel and heard you vent for like hours, you become emotionally connected to that guy. So if he's beefing, then you put your 2 cents in because he sat on the panel for 2 hours and y'all had panel therapy. But see, that's why nobody's emotionally connected to me, because I haven't had panel therapy with anybody. I just say
panel therapy.
It's panel. It's panel therapy. You in the panel at 3:00 in the morning, everybody venting, everybody getting their ideology out. I don't want to talk to another man at 3:00 in the morning. So
I mean,
so I get why it could be
crazy. It's just crazy, man.
We always talk about black media, right? I seem like I do. I feel like I do media. I feel like what I do is media, no matter what you think about it. Because if something happens in the news and I do a story and I put my title and your average Joe is on the internet searching and he stumbled across my video and I got like 5 chains on, I got covered in tattoos. Somebody like, how the hell did I get on this video? Doesn't mean you actually penetrating media. But a lot of these people say, I'm doing blackmail media, but they're not even penetrating media. It's just this little section that they're cornering, but they're not even really penetrating. I feel like some of my videos penetrate the market. It's a story happening, and you'll see new people, all whites alive, clicking on your video, because we all got an agenda. When we do a video, we all coming from a certain perspective. But when you get people that never heard of you, and you got like, how the hell did I click? I be looking at the avatars on some of my videos. They be like, they comment on my video. I'm like, yeah, you wasn't in my target audience. That means the video is doing what it's supposed to. It's mean you're penetrating the media. But a lot of people talking about they doing blackmail media. They're not even penetrating. You just working this little bitty corner over here, and you keep venting to the same people. But I'm actually trying to penetrate media. When something happened, I keyword my video, I tag it. So hopefully, when people searching, they click on my video. They probably wondering how the hell I get on this video, but you're here now. That's how you do media, really, the correct way.
Yeah, well, I think that many of us, we don't understand how small black YouTube is. Forget even the part where we are. I mean, where we are is a very small part of black YouTube, man. Because man, there's black YouTubers out there, man, that got like 10 million fucking subscribers. All right. Their videos get like 7 million views, in a week. All right. Because I've seen them. Because I go to some of my subscribers' channels and I look at some of the people they're subscribed to. And man, there's people in there, and I'm talking brothers who got 20 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers. There's chicks that got 5 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers. You go to their channel, their fucking video got 12 million views. Them people, they're reaching motherfuckers, because 12 million people is a lot of people. That's more people that live in this county that I live in. All right. So when I say that black media is small, it is. But this part of black media is even smaller. Ain't no motherfucker over here with no 1 million subscribers. Not one.
You almost find this space by accident, man, by proxy. You'll find somebody in this space, and then you got to kind of go down a rabbit hole just to really get a feel for the space. You kind of fall into this space by accident. The videos are not well optimized. They don't use search engine optimization. So it's not being tagged for search. So you got to find one person, and then you kind of go through this little rabbit hole, and that's how. Or one person do a stream, they say, all right, now you go over to this person's stream. So you piggyback off of each other. So that's what I know.
Do you think that kind of confines it though? Like the fact that, like you said, you got to kind of stumble. And shout out to brother MOT for the $10 super chat. He says it just gets less and less principled men not holding up standards for their own standards. Yeah, pretty much, brother MOT. But do you think that kind of confines us though? The fact that we don't really deal with the SEO, because I know I don't.
Yeah.
We don't try to optimize our videos. A lot of us, I'm not going to say all of us, but a lot of us. Does that create kind of a wall around us? The fact that many of us don't have 10 million subscribers, 1 million subscribers. I don't think there's any YouTubers that I watch that have 1 million. I don't think there's any that I watch. And it probably ain't any in the so-called general vicinity that have 1 million. All right. Do you think that walls us in?
Yeah, of course. If you're not reaching the people, you can keep talking about how good your message is, but you keep preaching to the choir, to the same old people. With any message, you got to get the followers. You got to somebody to attract new people. With any organization, they always have one person who's energetic, charismatic enough that's going to deliver this message and draws new people in. So that's why when you got somebody from this space that's reaching new people, quit trying to destroy them. Somebody from this space is reaching new people, shut your ass up, because that's what you need. New people reach, instead of talking about they sold out. Oh, he's doing this type of content. That's how he's reaching the people. At least he's reaching new people so he can get his message across. But we seem like we want people stuck in a confined space. So, and that's why when people do reach a level of success, they want nothing to do with you now, because on their way up, you try to drag them down instead of just embracing them. So,
yeah, I don't think that we should, if a brother's successful, right? If a brother's successful at something, right? The last thing I want to do is, pick apart his success. The last thing I want to do is say, this is how people are messed up. When they started off with, the only reason you have this is because. When they say that shit, those people you need to stay the fuck away from. Because what they're saying is, the only reason why you're successful at what you're doing is because of this one thing. Whether it be because, you do good avatars, you do good thumbnails, you're mastered SEO, people are stupid, that's why they listen to you. Whenever a person says this shit to you, remember this, young fella. Whenever a person says the only reason why you have this is because, stay away from that motherfucker.
Yeah, okay.
Especially if what you're doing is successful and it's doing great things, and the motherfucker gonna look at it, the only reason why you're doing this is because. That's stupid. All right? That's just stupid. To me, that's just stupid, man. That's just dumb.
One ear, not the other, man. That's how I look at it.
I mean, you have to, at some point, man, we gotta stop ragging people for being successful at something just because we're not. Whatever that thing is. If a brother's successful at something, man, he's successful at it. If he's good at it, he's good at it. I think we got to stop, picking people apart because they're good at what they do, even if we disagree with it. There's a lot of people on here, man, that they're very successful at what they do. I don't watch their shit, though. I don't watch their shit like that. you know. And the last thing I would do is get in a fucking chat room and tell them how bad this is, how whack this is. I mean, nah, man, nah, because I don't have time for that shit. You know, I mean, I think brothers, the thing with brothers on media is that number one, a lot of us have a lot of damn time on our hands because you know it takes a lot of time and energy to fuck with people. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of time and energy out of your day, out of your life, out of your whatever. You know, and they must live by their goddamn self because me, I got a woman in here. All right. And she would be like, God damn, X, what the hell, man? How you got time to be doing this shit?
And you yelling at the computer screen, look at you like you crazy,
Yeah.
man.
And be like, what the hell is wrong with this Negro? How the hell you got time to be doing all of this shit? You know, so I mean I mean, and I know people think, you know, I'm probably preaching, but I'm just giving my own perspective, man. I mean,
yeah, I'm
that's
listening,
why
man.
that's why I stay away from that shit. Because man, what I look like doing that shit? I'm a fucking grandfather, man. What I look like arguing back and forth with Negroes about some nonsense when I can just take this fucking computer, just close this motherfucker on you. I'm not gonna sit up here and argue with you back and forth, man. Number one, I'm too old, okay, for that kind of crap. Number two, us arguing back and forth isn't going to settle shit.
Exactly.
It
I
isn't going
agree.
to settle anything. It isn't going to settle anything. It's not. What are we going to? We're going to see who can argue the best. Nah, a motherfucker got a problem with me. They can come on my channel and we can discuss it. Yeah, we can do that. But I'm not going to sit up here and argue back and forth with you, man, and yell and scream and hoop and holler. Nah, nope. And like I say, young fella, I'm glad that you do what you do, and your videos get a lot of views. The motherfuckers be going, World Star be picking them up. So, you know, it's just a matter of time before you see your shit somewhere else. Cause people talk shit about World Star, but World Star's got a lot of notoriety, man. I mean, World Star's
Yeah.
World Star, man. Everybody knows who they are. I mean, not for
Yeah.
nothing. You know, I mean, I don't take in much of their shit, but I mean,
Yeah.
they are who they are, and people know who they are. So when someone that has that kind of following is taking interest into your stuff, that means something. If it do, only even if it only means, you know, more exposure, you know, because
Yeah.
World Star isn't a little outfit. You know, that's not a small outfit, man. It's not. So, you know, your shit, because there's quite a few people shit who get picked up by World Star. You know, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm happy for you, young fella, and
Appreciate it, man.
I'm glad that you finally came through. I know you and we supposed to get up and chop it up, man, many times, but you know, schedules be clashing and shit like that. And I got to get you to come back, man. I got to get you to come through, man. Chop it up, man. You
Most
know,
definitely.
and yeah, I'll bring you up. You know, I won't bring you up when it's a night where it's like 99 Negroes on here already. You know, it'd be
Yeah.
small and shit. You know, I'm getting to the point now where I don't do too many of those big panels. I may have 5, 6 people maximum. I don't think I'm gonna be doing the 9, 10 folks no more. I think that's too many people. Too many Negroes talking at one time, you know, and then everybody want the floor, and it's hard to give
Yeah.
Negroes the floor when it's 9 of them. So I think I'm gonna be done with doing that. So when you do come through, you know, it'll be maybe 5 or 6 dudes, you know, and we'll be
I'm,
talking about something, you know,
yeah, I
something
definitely
like that.
I'm definitely honored that you interviewed me, man. Because I know
Oh,
you're an excellent interviewer, man. So
yeah, that's what they say, man. That's what they say, man. You know,
yeah,
but I appreciate it, young fella, and cause I know you were supposed to come one time. You was gonna do a challenge, but that fell apart too.
yeah.
So, but
I didn't want a whole bunch of avatars coming up and just you know,
oh,
just a shock value. That's what it
well,
becomes.
you
So
know when you do the challenge, you make the rules.
yeah,
So, motherfucker don't want to show his face.
yeah.
You out. So, keep that in mind. Like I said, hit me up, man. I like what you're doing down there, young fella. And keep doing it, man. And I'll be sending you some stories soon.
I'm gonna keep it on the low, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me, man.
You got it, man. Peace, young fella. Everybody, man, cut to the Chase TV, man. Get down there, check them out. Moderators, if you could, put the young fella's info in the chat. This is one of the up and comings right here. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna see him doing some big stuff, man. Cause I've been watching this shit, man, and I like the direction that it's going, man. I like the direction that it's going, and I like how you do your shit, man. So you heard me, come back here, young fella.
I'm definitely gonna come back, man. Hey,
all right.
Do you still do them debates where you got like the timekeeper?
We're doing one tomorrow. Doing a double header tomorrow. Tomorrow, double header, man. A double header. We're doing a challenge first, and then we got a real live debate going on after that. Late night too, 11 o'clock, late night debate. So it's going down tomorrow. And we're still doing it. We're still doing it. So come through. Come through. My brother. Cut to the chase, everybody. Peace, young fella.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, just got off the line with the young fella. Cut to the chase. Everybody, man, put his info in the chat. Cut to the chase was supposed to come down here and do some debating, but like I said, our schedules kept getting crossed up and shit, man, and we couldn't do it and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's not over. Yeah, it's not over. Cause I got a special surprise guest for you good folks. For you good folks. Let me see if he's gonna come through. Hold up, y'all. Now, all of y'all are familiar. I'm sure you're familiar with my special surprise guest. You should be here any minute. He has a tendency to show up late from time to time. But good shit, man. I mean, it's the young fella, he does some different stuff. I think he's probably a little closer to the quote unquote news / media type format than many of us because of how he does his stuff. I mean, he actually does news stories and sit there and gives his commentary on them. Yeah, he kind of does it. He does it in a way that's funny, but he does tell the story. So, like I said, get on down there, man. Check the young fella out, man. His stuff is pretty good, man. And his stuff, like I said, he said 3. I thought it was only 1. He said 3. He said World Star picked up 3 of his videos. And he said one of them got like 800,000 views. Shit, that's a lot. I don't even think I got that with all the goddamn videos I got. I don't even have that with all the videos I have, I think. Shit, man. I don't think I have that many damn views with all of the shit that I got. Yeah, we just waiting on our what's good, brother Perfect Black. Why the hell Perfect Black ain't got no damn ranch? That doesn't make any sense. Is that the Perfect Black or is that the other Perfect? Is that my brother Perfect Black from Chi-Town? Before I rent you up, I got to make sure you are who you are, man. Because I can't see the picture from here. Aha! Tia and Tom. Now, y'all know I've seen y'all in this chat room before. and y'all want to ask this question: when we gonna see? You probably won't. Um, you probably won't see that, folks, because I mean, she's not even Sister Ali is not into that like that, folks. I wouldn't even go to my friend with that shit. To be honest with y'all, I wouldn't even go to her with that. I wouldn't go to her and be like, "Oh, could you do that?" Nah, I wouldn't do it, y'all. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, y'all, to y'all, Sister Ali is like a folk hero, man. But I mean, to me, man, I know Sister Ali personally, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know her personally. I've known her for quite some time. Damn, drop my damn shit bell, y'all. I know I've been knowing Sister Ali since 2012. And I don't just know her from YouTube. I mean, I knew her way before she started coming, before I started doing YouTube and all that kind of shit. Um, I knew her from back my days when I used to do radio. I've known Sister Ali for almost a decade, man. And like I said, her and I talk. Her and I talk. So I mean, I wouldn't even go to her, man. She's a friend of mine. I wouldn't go to her with that kind of shit, man. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. If it's gonna happen, it probably won't happen here. I mean, I got Sister Ali's personal phone number. I can pick it up and call her right now, because like I said, her and I talk. But nah, I ain't going to her with that shit. Absolutely not. But my boy has arrived. The one and only Cory Haywood is in the house. Brother Haywood, what's good with it, man?
Oh, indeed, I have returned. Can you hear me?
Yes, man. It's been
Oh,
a while, my brother.
yes, it
Been a
has been.
while.
How have you been?
I've been good, man. Been good, Stayed away from the COVID. So far, so good. Got my fingers crossed. They did cause I'm an old fella, so I entered myself into the COVID lottery,
Hmm.
and I got the alert yesterday. They said my group is coming up. So I'm still on the fence about taking the shot, though. I'm still on the fence, man. I'm
Man,
still
I
on the
am
fence.
too. I am too. I'm not sure about it, man. I mean, look, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what's going on, but something about it is fishy to me. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And
mm-hmm,
I've never fully believed in medicine.
mm,
After seeing all of the side effects that it causes in people, I'm very much against it. And also, I just feel like there's a hidden agenda. I really do. To get
yeah,
everyone vaccinated. And I'm not in a rush. At some point, I'm sure it'll become mandatory. And when that happens, then, I'll cross that bridge. But until then, man, I ain't taking it.
yeah,
No.
yeah. They made my daughter take it because she's a nurse, so she had to take it. She had to do it. She was like, "Oh, Dad, I didn't really want to do it, but we all have to do it." So it's going to be mandatory for a certain part of the population. It's going to be mandatory, just like it's going to be mandatory to pretty soon to enter certain venues. It's going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
mandatory, or you're going to have to
Absolutely.
show proof that you done had that needle, or you
Hmm.
ain't coming up in. Or you ain't coming up in there.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know.
That's true. And what's funny is, and the numbers are all over the place. But from what I understand, the people who died from COVID, right? The amount of people who died from COVID last year is not much higher than the amount of people who died from the flu the prior year, 2019. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and we were never forced to get vaccinations for the flu. It was always optional, which is another reason why I'm a bit skeptical of the COVID vaccine. You know what I'm saying? It's not as if we've never had um, viruses like these that cause thousands and thousands of deaths. I mean, we've seen viruses like these over the years come and go and linger, and we've never been forced to take a vaccine. So why are we being forced now?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very
I
fishy to me.
mean, I like I said, I'm on the fence about it. I am on the fence about it. And at some point, I'm probably going to have to go ahead and make the decision of whether or not I'm going to do it or not. Because right now, I don't really have to do it because my my turn, I should say, didn't come up anyway.
Mhm.
So I'm just kind of waiting, man. And my wife ain't gonna do it unless I do it. So if I take it, she'll probably take it too. But if I don't take that motherfucker, she ain't taking that motherfucker either. So I'm kind of deciding for the both of us. So
Yeah.
I just gotta wait and see, man. But I got you here, man, and this article, because those of you who may not know who my brother Cory Haywood is actually an author, folks, blogger, shit starter, book writer. He's all of that. And he has this article here that I hope y'all can see. It says, Cory Haywood, Black people, it's not our job to defend the safety or civil rights of other racial groups, especially Asian Americans. Please, brother Haywood,
Indeed.
expound on that, if you will.
Absolutely. I mean, look, over the years, we have we've launched movements, we've demanded that our government be more, I guess you can say, concerned or more considerate of, our civil rights and of our wants and needs. We've protested, we've marched, we've done all of these things, and we've gotten laws passed, we've gotten legislation rewritten, we've made dents in the white power structure that still currently exists in this country. We've done all of these wonderful things as a people, and other racial groups have benefited from our efforts. Let's just be real. Starting with the civil rights movement, the Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter, right? All of these movements were started by African Americans. You can even go back to affirmative action, and that was ultimately designed for minorities, African Americans in particular. And as you and I know, white women benefited from that initiative more than we did. Other racial groups, other people are constantly benefiting from our efforts. They're constantly benefiting from the fruits of our labor. But when it's time for them to step up and support us, quite often they're nowhere to be found. And when they do appear, for example, I can mention Black Lives Matter, or even in Me Too as well, in most cases, it's not because they genuinely want to help us. It's because they have a hidden agenda, and they know that if our movement gains momentum and gains traction, that ultimately they can use that momentum to help push and further their own agendas. And quite often they even co-opt, they hijack our movements. Look at what happened with the Me Too movement. That was initiated by a black woman. And that movement was supposed to be to raise awareness of domestic abuse um, in black households against black women. White women ultimately co-opted that movement, and now it's become this circus, this Hollywood circus. It focuses primarily on white actresses. And if you look at these Black Lives Matter protests that have taken place over the last several months, we've seen white folks, we've seen Latinos, we've seen Asian people protesting, but all of them have agendas. They all have specific wants and needs that they think will be satisfied, they think will be fulfilled through the movements that, of course, we have initiated. So I don't believe they truly want to help. They just view these movements as an opportunity, as opportunities for them, again, to catapult their own agendas. And so for that, I think we shouldn't step up to support or to rally behind them when they feel like they uh, want a platform, or when they want to protest about the things that they want, things that they need. They always give us a call when these things happen. They say, hey, well, can you guys help us? Because we're experts, obviously, with this whole thing. And so they often reach out to us, and they want us to give them advice. They want our support. And of course, we always jump to their rescue. We're the first ones to help other people. But when it comes to us, it's not reciprocated. And that's ultimately what this article is about.
So have you found, Brother Haywood, that well, let me ask you because I know you on the West Coast, so you probably have a little more encounter with Asian people than I do here in the South. Um, do you find that uh the Asian folks are they trying to recruit? Are they trying to recruit black folks to help them in their plight?
Well, what I've noticed is that we've voluntarily done it, right? I've seen a lot of black pundits on TV. Then you go to social media. There are a lot of black people who've come out and spoken, obviously, on behalf of Asian people, and they've spoken against the outbreak of hate-fueled attacks, right, on Asian people. We've seen a lot of them over the last several months, um, and of course, it culminated with what happened in Atlanta. Now, of course, there are conflicting reports. This white boy who killed, 8 people in Atlanta. I think it was a couple of days ago. Most of them were Asian. Apparently, according to him, it's because he had some sex fetish that went left, and he killed people because of that. But of course, you have CNN and other news outlets pegging this as a hate crime, as a white man targeting Asian people, right, killing them, and of course, they're connecting it to COVID-19, and we've seen a slew of attacks. Um, from by Latinos, blacks, whites against Asians due to COVID-19. So what's been happening? It certainly isn't the first incident, and so I understand why the Asian community is outraged and why they feel like they need to speak out against it. But I don't believe that we as black people should step up and help them raise awareness of this issue. They need to do it on their own because, again, when we've had the same problems, they were nowhere to be found for us. I believe reciprocation is the key. If you're not willing to put forth the same amount of effort that we've ultimately given you and other racial groups, then we shouldn't be fucking with them. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Um, it always seems like when other groups, whether it be Latinos or Asians or whoever, it always seems that they want your numerical strength for one, all right, because there's a lot of black folks, so of course they want your numerical strength. But it seems like to me that they kind of backdoor try to make it seem like, oh well, it's just like with what's going on with black folks. See that kind of shit. I don't like. I don't like the whole. Don't try to compare what you going through to what black folks go through. Just stop it. Just knock it off. All right. If you want black folks help, I don't think that that's the way to get it by doing that. But I'm surprised I haven't seen uh more people like on TV and on media saying, "Hey, because see, this is what they say, when they not with white folks calling us niggers, what they say is, "Oh, our African American brothers and sisters need to come out and stand with us." You know,
Right. Exactly.
they'll get on TV and say that shit now, and I haven't seen that yet. I guess because I don't watch a lot of TV, but I haven't seen that as of yet.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, they don't have
so
to.
do you?
They don't
Go
have
ahead.
to.
Go ahead.
We as I'm saying, they don't have to. We have voluntarily given them or provided our support, right? And it's because I think we feel like when other minority groups suffer, in some way we suffer too. Ultimately, it's about white supremacy, right? That's the focus here. And because it was a white boy who killed, I think it was 8 people, 6 of whom were Asian, we're all looking at this as another example of a white male targeting minorities. And that
Mm.
touches, obviously, the nerve endings of all minorities. So when black people see that, right, it triggers emotions in us, and we immediately jump, right, to intervene in these situations. That's what's going on right now. And let me tell you, it's funny, because um, a lot of these attacks have been perpetrated by African Americans. We looked the other way when it happened, and CNN, MSNBC also looked the other way. Now all of a sudden, a white boy is guilty, and it's become national news, right? So this points to a larger issue, really, of the fact that white people in this country have become public enemy number one. And any infraction, whether it be major or minor, perpetrated by a white male especially, is going to be exacerbated and blown out of proportion by the media. And ultimately, blacks and other minorities are going to hop on it and complain. You know what I'm saying? That's just what's been happening.
Yeah. But you say that they don't have to ask, for, our help per se, because we just gonna jump on out there for the simple fact that they're a minority. So
Absolutely.
I mean, but should we care though? To a greater point, should we care? Should we care that people are doing this to Asian folks? Should
No,
we really care?
we shouldn't care. We shouldn't care. I don't mean to seem heartless or cruel, but we shouldn't. And I'll tell you why we shouldn't. It's because they've never cared about us, ever. You know this just as well as I do. I'm 33, and I'm very well aware of the crimes that were committed against black people by Asians in the early 90s and late 80s, right? We are aware of those shootings that took place, where blacks were constantly harassed and discriminated against in liquor stores, right? Beauty salons, nail salons, right? This has been happening for decades. The relationship is strained between blacks and Asian Americans. It always has been, but there has been bad blood rather. I'm sorry, between these two groups for decades. And I can tell you personally, right, living in a blue state in California, uh, in a blue city in Los Angeles, obviously, I have encountered many Asian people. And I can tell you that although they aren't openly um, rude or aggressive, there are certain microaggressions that I've definitely observed from them. In particular, they don't acknowledge or speak to you in most cases, especially those who are over a certain age, like older, those in that older demographic. They won't even speak to you. They'll walk right past you. They'll bump into you. They won't say excuse me. Of course, you won't be welcomed to their families. Let a young Asian woman or young Asian male bring a Negro home to his or her parents and see what the reaction will be. They also don't interact with us unless, of course, we're spending money in their establishments. If we're getting our nails done in their salons, if we're buying weaves and wave grease in their beauty salons, you know, what I mean, if we're shopping or buying things at their liquor stores, that's the only time they interact with us. Outside of that, there is no interaction whatsoever, and it's because, at least in my estimation, they view us as less than. Right? I provided examples of my story of just blatant and deplorable racism um, that I've seen from Asian people. I mentioned a commercial where there's a black male in the commercial and an Asian female, right? That Asian female lures that black male into a laundry room. And then she throws him into a washing machine and he emerges as an Asian male, indicating that he was somehow dirty before. There are museums throughout Asia, in China in particular, where there are photographs of animals and of black people comparing us to animals. I've seen it, right? There are examples of that. You look at, there was a study by a Chinese scientist, right, who claimed that black women are the least attractive women on earth, and he provided scientific evidence to prove it. Right? There are plenty of examples of Asian Americans belittling, degrading, um, and ultimately uh, uh, exhibiting just racism toward black folk. Plenty of evidence. And so, because of that, I don't think we should be readily willing to help them in any way, shape, or fashion.
Yeah, well, I find it funny, with these groups, they're going through whatever it is they're going through. People are attacking them for whatever reason. And I don't know what's going on in folks' minds, when they're doing this to these Asian folks. Um, a lot of people are saying they're doing it because of COVID. Uh, I don't know. That may or may not be true. I don't know. But for whatever reason they're doing it, um, don't get me wrong. I don't think that, innocent people should be knocked upside the head or killed or stabbed or no shit like that. But that being said, these same Asian people who, like Brother Haywood just got finished talking about, these same Asian people who are going to want you to go out there and march with them, stand on City Hall, call you their African American brother, and all this kind of nonsense. These are the same ones who look at you when you walk into their store and they say, "You buy now or you leave store. You buy now, you leave store." The same people, they the same people that's gonna be saying that shit. They the same people who freaking treat you probably worse than white folks treat you.
Yep.
So keep that in mind before you jump up and start marching with them and standing beside them in solidarity. Because I'm telling you, once they use you for your numerical strength, man, they're going to be right back to saying, "You buy now or you leave store." They're going to be right back to doing that shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We have become pawns, man. That's what we are. You
Yep.
mentioned numerical strength. Exactly. First of all, we have some experience doing this, right? No one can put together a rally like we can. No one can protest like we can. We have been through so many years, right, of this shit that we have gained a certain amount of equity. You know what I'm saying? Of clout, and I think people know that. And if you're a minority and you want to get something done, you call some black folk, right? You call the NAACP. You call whomever you can to rally behind you, because you know that when black people put their heads together, when you have their support, things get done. We've seen it over and over again. And so, again, with Black Lives Matter, one could say, "Oh, well, I've seen Asian American protesters in these Black Lives Matter rallies." You probably have. And of course, I'm not lumping all of them into one category. I'm not saying there aren't exceptions, but generally speaking, though, right? As you mentioned, these will be the same people who won't even look in your direction once they get what they want, once they use you for the numerical strength that you provide. When it's over and they've finally gotten what they want on their agenda accomplished, you will instantly become invisible to them. Or worse, the enemy, an animal, a monster, a criminal, that's how they view you anyway. So why help them? Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And I'm not going to say that, it's every single freaking Asian on the planet because, I actually know a few Asian people and, I do work for some Asian people and they're cool. I don't know if they call me niggas or not, when I'm out of they, when they out of my earshot, but, they're pretty cool people. And I wouldn't want anything to happen to them because, I know them. But I'll say again, I have a hard time with black folks jumping into these fights with other groups because, like you said, I mean, last year, you saw a lot of different kinds of people, marching with black folks and everything. And that's all great. All that stuff is great. But I just don't want people to think that whenever something discriminatory or racist or bigoted or whatever, I don't want people to think that they can always fall back on blacks, if they having problems. Sort of like when they did the pipeline, when the American Indians up there in the West, and the first thing they did, they jumped right on TV and they were like, "Oh, we need our African American brothers and sisters, to join us, in this plight and blah, blah, blah." And I'm saying to myself, this is the first time I've ever seen anybody even mention black folks, far as some type of solidarity. Now, any other time you want to kind of push black folks out, but when you need their numerical strength and you need the numbers and you need a presence out there, now you want to fall back on black folks because black folks, we're experts, in racism and bigotry and all that kind of bullshit from what we came through. And not only that, when it comes to these other groups, I cannot say that I'm not somewhat intrigued with the fact that they are going through a little infinitesimal piece, and I mean infinitesimal piece of the bigotry and discrimination that black people have went through in this country for a very long time. And I hope when these things happen to these other groups that they can put that in freaking put that into perspective, when they look at black people. When you see a black person, now you can kind of put things in a certain perspective, because guess what? Your group is being discriminated against. Your group is being treated like an other. Your group is being harassed, being beat, being whatever now. So the comfort of being who you are is not there like it used to be. And I think that other people being uncomfortable is a good thing. I think we live in a world of comfort where everybody wants to be comfortable. All right. I think a little bit of discomfort helps, because you get to peek, you get a little tiny peek, of what other people might be going through. But you got it, Brother Haywood.
No, I totally agree with that. And it's just it's fascinating to me now that there are other groups of people coming out. I mean, you can even look at the LGBT community, right? Now they compare their struggles to ours. Um, I think I'm paraphrasing, but even long ago, John Lennon, I believe it was him who said that women are the niggers of the world. Now, how the fuck is that possible? Really? Women are. It seems like everyone over the years, they've all taken turns, right? Cherry picking from our plight and using it somehow to highlight, their own. And it's BS. And unfortunately, we've been pawns um, in these moments. We're not really. I guess many of us, we just don't know what to look for. We don't know any better. Um, but to me, it's really an example of how compassionate we can be. Now we have another side now that's completely different. But I think black people are some of the most compassionate and some of the most spiritually led people on earth. And when we see injustice, no matter who is being victimized by injustice, when we see it, we have this instinct, right, to jump in, to get involved, because it's happened to us for so many years. And so again, it triggers certain emotions in us, and that's why we often get involved, even without being asked to. And so that's admirable, right? That's an admirable characteristic of our community. But what has it ultimately accomplished? Not very much. Again,
Yeah.
other people benefit from this effort. But when it comes to us, we are still scratching and clawing at the bottom of the totem pole, while other racial groups are climbing up the totem pole, up the ladder, right? While they're making progress, we are still lagging behind. And I feel like it's because we need to put more energy into our own communities, right? As opposed to worrying about what other motherfuckers are doing.
Yeah. I have to agree, man. I have to agree. Because guess what? I mean, before last year, with George Floyd and everything going on, I mean, black people couldn't rely on other people, man, to help them whatever plights they were having. I think like last year was the first time I saw other groups of people, in mass, actually participating with black people, in these marches and these protests and these marches onto City Hall and things of that nature. I think last year was the first time I've seen it that big. Of course, you see a handful of them out there, but this time, like I said, last year, you saw, white people and Latino people and Asian people actually, kind of en masse, in some places, all you saw was white folks out there talking about some Black Lives Matter, which is crazy, by the way. Um, yeah. So, black people before then, whatever black people were going through, man, black people were going through that shit by themselves. It wasn't like, no one was coming to aid them or help them or none of that shit. It just wasn't happening. So, this happening now, and it's messed up. It's horrible that this stuff is happening to these people, that people are killing them and beating them and doing all this kind of bullshit. Yes, it's egregious. It's horrible. But guess what, man? A lot of horrible shit happens to black people too. And I don't remember Asians or Native Americans or white folks or Latino folks. I don't remember these people come running, in mass to look out for black folks. I mean, do you think that we've turned a corner where that's different now? That every fight is all of our fight now. Is that the world we live in now, Brother Haywood?
I mean, you know what? You can make that argument. Um, but I also believe, again, that young people, right? Because what you see, you don't see a lot of middle aged and older people participating in these movements, right? Normally they're very young. And I think young people, especially in this day and age, and then last year with COVID spreading so rapidly, um, people didn't really, I mean, to be honest, they were bored. They didn't have anything to do. They had nothing better to do, right, than go outside and start some trouble because everything was shut down, right? You can only watch so many Netflix movies, right? You can only scroll through Facebook and browse the internet for so long before you finally get bored. And when these protests began to happen, it gave young people an opportunity to actually go outside and do something. I think they took advantage of it. That's my honest opinion. As far as Black Lives Matter is concerned, I mean, if you remember, when Trayvon Martin was killed, we didn't see no white folk and no Asian folk out there protesting for him. When Eric Garner was killed, same thing. We've seen plenty of black men killed. We've seen rallies and protests emerge because of these shootings, but I didn't see as many white folk or Asian folks. So what's the difference now, right? We can look at George Floyd's murder and ask, why is he so different than his predecessors, those who were killed before him? Perhaps it's because of how it happened, right? Um, watching that video, it was nauseating really to watch. And so perhaps when people, looked at the footage and saw that he was basically suffocated. Now, of course, there are conflicting reports that say that he overdosed on fentanyl, whatever he was taking at the time. But regardless of how he died, the optics indicated that that officer who put his knee on that man's neck for several minutes was culpable in the death of George Floyd. And when people look at that, maybe that does tug at their heartstrings. Maybe it does trigger certain emotions. And that's why you've seen more people from all walks of life participating in these rallies. But I have to ask myself at the same time, again, is there a hidden motive? Right? Because as we've seen, again, every time we make progress, right, uh, it benefits other groups of people. So I can easily say that, you have Asians and Hispanics and other minority groups out there, gays out there as well, because they know that if there's legislation passed or if there's legislation changed or rewritten, right, that would benefit the interests of minority groups in general, ultimately that's going to help their cause as well. So why would I hop on the bandwagon knowing that in the end, some of it's going to benefit me too? I don't know that it's sincere. I don't think it's authentic. I think they are opportunists. Their participation, in my opinion, is predicated on sort of the idea, the hope that the end result, right, will ultimately benefit their people as well, or whatever group they're advocating for. So I don't think that they're helping us out of the goodness of their heart. Hell no, absolutely not.
Mm. Yeah, usually when something like this happens, um, and they're trying to, enlist the help or slash services of black people, there's always something behind it. I don't think it's I don't I've never believed that it's some type of solidarity move where, we need to bind together and fight racism type thing. I've never believed that. There's always an agenda behind it. There's always something. Um and like you said, I mean, you know, b- before, like the George Floyd, killing, a lot of other brothers were killed, before that. You know, I don't even want to get into the numbers of the brothers who have been killed. And you've seen a lot of protests and marches, which I don't necessarily agree are that effective. But those said marches, you didn't see a lot of white folks out there. You didn't see a lot of Asian folks out there. You didn't see a lot of Latino folks out there. I say again, I mean, you know, uh, these things are troubling, because when you see a group go through this, right? And of course, as black folks, as you said, we as black people, we know we go through all kinds of shit. So I guess it hits us. It hits us emotionally. We're like, damn, that's messed up. But I don't think these things can compare. I don't think they're easily compared to what black people go through. I just don't believe that. I don't think it's the same. I don't. And I know you know, uh it's not at the same rate. It's not being done at the same rate. Now, I've been seeing reports where, you know, uh, uh harassment and attacks on Asians are up, right? Um so I guess before this, they were comfortable. They didn't have to worry about anything. They didn't have to worry about anybody doing anything to them. So now that they are up, and I guess they've spiked to the point where, they have to get on the news. They have to, you know, uh, go to local government or local municipalities and say something about it. Do you think that something's going to be done, Brother Haywood? Like, the way how black people go and they complain and they march and they go to City Hall and they talk to the police, the chief of police, and they talk to the mayor, and not a goddamn thing happens. Do you think it's going to be different when you have, especially the Asian folks who are actually, influential and might be a part of government or something like that? They might be hooked up to the county clerk's office or something like that. Do you think that something's going to be done as far as government is concerned? Are they going to, jump up and take these giant initiatives now? Now that Asian people are boo-hooing about, whatever's happening to them.
Probably so, because it was a white boy who killed him. And we
Mm,
all know that if a white man does it, it's 10 times as worse.
yeah.
A white man does it, it's 10 times worse. Right? Black, like I told you, that wasn't the first incident of violence, right, that we've seen perpetrated against Asian people over the last several months, right? It's been, there are several examples of Asians being attacked and harassed in the street, broad daylight, right, by people. Um, I saw a video of an old, it had to be 70, 80-year-old Asian woman who was pushed over and trampled by a group of young black men. And they robbed her and ran off. They caught it on camera,
Mm,
right? These things have been happening. The reason why it's national news is because a young white male did it. Of course, they're trying to connect that to white supremacy. This is even last year. The reason why that George Floyd murder caused such a stir internationally, right? The reason why it launched the movement is because, well, first, it was an election year, as you know, right? So it was a
Mhm.
perfect storm where COVID had everyone on edge, emotions were high, and people felt like with the November election coming that the future of America was at stake, right? With Trump and Biden being the nominees for president and the potential for Trump to have a second term as president, people were scared again that a racist would have another 4 years in office. So when George Floyd died, right, when he was killed by a white man, according to the media, they found a way to tie that to this sort of dark cloud of white supremacy looming over the country. And of course, they also found a way to connect that to the president. Well, the reason why these killings are happening is because President Trump has empowered and emboldened white nationalists and racists to commit crimes against people of color, right? So they tied all of these things in, and I think that's what ultimately fueled the protests, and that's why we saw uh, the international sort of response to the George Floyd murders, because the media really pumped it up more than they ever had with any prior murder of a black male. And so, if again you're an opportunist, right? You're looking at this and you're seeing this unfold, and you're thinking, okay, I got to get on this, right? I have to get a piece of this because I know ultimately it'll help further my cause as well. So if you're gay, or if you're Asian, or if you're Latino, or if you're whomever, if you're a woman, you're going to join that movement because you know uh, there will be opportunities for you to kind of express how you feel too. You know what I'm saying? To air your grievances, to be heard. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, because it was different this time. I mean, we've seen so many brothers get killed by the police. I mean, I think we done lost track by 1,000. I think I lost track of 1,000. But um, you never saw you didn't see the outpour that you saw um after George Floyd. And I mean, it was worldwide. You had people marching in other countries. So you just didn't see it like that until then. Um, and like you said, there was this whole thing about, the country is more racist, because of the media was pumping that up too. And like I always say, man, I think the media is part of the machine. Even though they try to report on the machine, they are freaking part of it, for the simple fact that they only show you what they want to show you makes them part of it by default. That's just my opinion.
I
But
agree.
yeah, they pump it up and they say, and they get these narratives going about, X, Y, and Z. So the country already has a certain energy. And I think that when George Floyd got killed out there, man, on that street, I think that just kind of made the powder keg explode. That's why I think we saw, what we saw. Everybody was already cooped up in the crib, because COVID was kind of, it had kind of took the country over by that time for the most part. And it was, I guess it was the camel that broke it was the straw that broke the camel's back. And that's why I say, like, I mean, right now, you know, the country is still in recover mode for the most part. I mean, this country's still recovering, man. And the main thing going on now is trying to, give everybody their damn shot in the arm and trying to gain some type of decency, because according to the experts, it's supposed to be, decently normal, by summertime, which I kind of doubt, but we'll see. Um, and I think along with everything else, man, along with the politics and the bigotry and the economy and the damn pandemic, I don't think this country's ever going back to normal ever. I don't think
No,
that's ever going to happen. Like
no,
it's going to
definitely
be
not.
some new normal now.
Yeah, I
New
mean,
normal.
at least now it won't. It'll never be like how we remember it. You know what I'm saying? Before COVID,
Mm,
and just even be just beyond the virus itself. Um, we we're going a bit off topic here, but just cancel culture in general and how vicious it can be, right? Um, we're living now in a time where uh, really, if you've ever made a mistake in your life and someone can dig it up, that mistake can ruin your reputation, can ruin your career, can end your life as you know it. There are vultures out here who have dedicated their lives to exposing the skeletons of other people. That's the world
mm,
we're living in right now. And that concerns me because no one's perfect. We've all made mistakes. So as this continues to progress, I think people will become so anxious, right, of being victimized by cancel culture, right, of falling through the cracks in some way. That, just living, is particularly in America, will become an extremely stressful experience. Imagine, I mean, you've probably done some fuck shit, in your lifetime. Now imagine if someone were to dig up your past and try to incriminate you as a result of that. And you
mhm,
have now kids growing up, future generations of kids will see all of this. And it'll influence the way that they interact with one another, the way that they behave, right? As time progresses, this country in particular will become more sensitive. You mentioned the powder keg. I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg. Things will get worse, a lot worse.
mm.
And you
But
combine
do
that
you
with,
think
yep, go
do
ahead.
you think that's because we're becoming more sensitive to stuff, outside of like, politics and racism and stuff like that? I mean, are we more sensitive, in this country? Is that what it is?
I think we're being
Are we
dogmatized.
are we
And
are we
dogmatized.
out to protect everyone's feelings?
Yes, absolutely. But we can't accommodate everyone's sensibilities. And I've made this point over and over again, and people have called me an asshole, but I don't care. The reason why we have witnessed so much conflict is because you have people coming here from all over the world. You know what they do? They bring their values here, they bring their philosophies, their beliefs, all of that. They bring it here, right? And so now we've become such a melting pot, quote unquote, right? That I believe these beliefs and these values are clashing now, right? The
Mm,
government cannot accommodate everyone, right?
no.
It's at some point there's going to have to be a set, um, sort of there's going to have to be set practices and beliefs and values that Americans can follow and be proud of. Because as long as the objective is for everyone to be satisfied and for everyone to be happy and to feel like their voice is being heard and they're being counted, we're never going to reach a point where there's harmony in this country because someone's always going to want something. Someone's always going to be complaining about what they're not getting.
Mm, wow. So, do you is it possible? Is it possible for another group to kind of needle in on, well, of course it's possible, but let me rephrase it. Is it going to be more possible? Is it going to be easier for other groups to kind of needle in on whatever quote unquote rights that black people have or may, achieve down the road? Is it going to be easier for other groups to kind of like, needle their way in there and kind of benefit from them too, more so than they've had to in the past?
Absolutely, and I think the Black Lives Matter and George Floyd protests last year have caused other minority groups to sort of kind of reevaluate, the ways in which they go about, uh, um, raising awareness um, of their own suffering and of their own experiences. I think, for so long, and again, I'm generalizing, but we didn't hear much from the Asian community or from the Hispanic community. The ones who protested was us, black people. You know what I'm saying? When if there was a protest, it was either some black folk or some gays or some transgenders. That normally, right? That's what you saw. But considering how much power it seems Black Lives Matter has now, if you think about not just Black Lives Matter, but our community in general, people will probably debate me until the cows come home about this. But I truly believe that Black privilege exists. It's not a myth,
Mm.
it's a real thing. Um, and I think that last year's protests are as an example. You think about um, how quickly someone is canceled, quote unquote, since that's the word we're using now, when that person makes a negative statement about black people. Think about how quickly this guy, Pierce Morgan, are you familiar with that story?
Mm-hmm.
Think about
Cause you.
there was a host on the talk, Sharon Osbourne, who
Mm-hmm.
publicly defended Pierce Morgan, and now they want her canceled.
Yep.
If you if you're white especially, and you have the nerve or the bravery in this case to speak negatively about black people, especially in a public sphere or national TV, you're writing a death sentence for yourself. We are literally becoming untouchable. There's a
Yeah.
force field around us right now. We can't be touched no matter what we do. And the funny
Yeah.
thing is, you have Democrats, you have other left-leaning media outlets that they rationalize. Even when we do fuck shit, and that black people, we aren't innocent. We do a lot of fuck shit. We get away with it because there are excuses made for us and rationalizations that are made for us to make sense of the dysfunction that we often display within our own communities. You think about
Mm-hmm.
just the Grammy Awards on Sunday, and although I think Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B are wonderful artists, they're great rappers, they were dry humping each other on live TV, and that is somehow categorized as empowering for women. You know what I'm saying? Iconic.
Yeah.
I read stories. They called that performance iconic. We saw softcore porn on live television. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason why it's being celebrated is because it featured a black woman and a Hispanic woman, two women of color. So it's okay. But I imagine that if they were white, right, or if a white male were on screen, you think about actually, I can give you another example. There was a comedian, Bill Burr. He made a few jokes. They want him canceled now.
Mm. Jokes are too insane, and it's crazy, man, that you bring that up, brother Haywood, because I was watching. What was this? Was this today? No, I think this is yesterday. And we were watching a well-known radio personality. I'm not going to say his name. Once I say it, everybody out there is going to know who I'm talking about anyway, but we're not going to say his name. And he was telling a story about some Tennessee Republicans who had refused to vote against an old slavery law, from like the 1700s. Excuse me. And after he told the story, he had his digital engineer, play, you know, a cut of Chris Rock going cracker ass cracker, and he did it 4 times. Right? He did it 4 times. He said, "Oh, give me 4 cracker ass crackers," like that. Now you know damn well not one freaking famous white personality with this dude's following could get up there and say, "Nigga, nigga, nigga, nigga." Ain't no way in the hell that white person could say that shit and still have a job the next day.
Absolutely not. They would have his head. Jay-Z came out with a song. You know what I'm saying? He came out with a song, and I think the song was on the soundtrack of the Judas and the Black Messiah. I don't know if you've seen that movie. But in this song, Jay-Z blatantly calls white people crackers. He said he was referring to the white people who stormed the Capitol a few months back. He called them crackers in the song. It was played on the radio. They did not edit that word out. Crackers, straight up. Now imagine you flip that, and if it were a white country singer using nigger or whatever in reference to black, any group of black people, he would be canceled. They would want his head. Social media would explode, and you know it.
See, that's the thing, and I've talked to people about this before, Brother Haywood, and you know what their response is, right? Their response is, well, we're black, so we went through a lot of shit, so certain concessions should be made for us, and I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing for black people to get preferential treatment for the simple fact that black people had egregious treatment, earlier on in history. I mean, it just doesn't seem like the two pan out. So, because when I hear something like that, it's like, okay, if you do something, it should be looked at a different way than if a white person does something. Now, that being the case, if it is the case, if you're saying that's how you want it to be, you're just as guilty as the freaking bigot. You're just as guilty as the racist. You're just as guilty as the white power structure, because, see, you want to be treated better than the white person's getting treated. But isn't racism about someone getting treated better than someone else? So you're no different. And I don't think it makes a lot of sense to say, well, black people, we went through all this shit, so special concessions should be made for us. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that, because like I said, I mean, if you want special treatment, that means that you're just as guilty as the freaking bigot. You're just as guilty as the prejudiced motherfucker. Because guess what? You want black people to be treated better than white folks, and the racists want white folks to be treated better than black folks. So how are you different? I mean, am I wrong here?
You're not wrong at all. And what is that going to do? Spark more conflict. It won't lead to peace, right? Absolutely not. You're, again, another story. Coca-Cola, of course, they apologized for distributing this memo to their white employees, but they asked their white employees to be less white. Really? Coca-Cola asking their white employees to be less white? What does that even mean?
That? Yeah, what does that mean? Walk with a bop when you go down the hallway. You know what I'm saying? You slang and ebonics, when y'all talking.
Now you flip it.
They're patronizing. They're patronizing
black to be less black. If Coca-Cola asked their black employees to be less black, I guarantee you Pepsi would be the only brand of Cola left, because Coca-Cola would immediately be canceled. It would spark backlash unlike you've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, the world is changing, man, and I think we talked about this a while back, Brother Haywood. I feared Harris becoming president more than I feared Joe becoming president, because I think she's eventually going to be president within the next year or two.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once she becomes president, where not only are we going to see some sweeping crazy changes that we never seen before, we're going to see a lot of them from the federal level.
Right. All bets will
And
be off.
yeah, we're going to see a lot of them from the federal level. And you think they're going to be quote unquote have to be sensitive to the feelings of others. Now you wait till you got President Harris sitting in the big
Right.
chair. Y'all ain't
Yeah.
seeing shit yet.
You better
You won't be allowed.
believe that women at that point, it'll be the turning point for this country. Actually, right? I'm seeing it right now. Women are in control. It's that simple, and it's because the men in positions of power right now, let's be real, are bitch ass niggas. That's just the
Mm,
reality of it. They are not real men. They're influenced by the deceptions and the manipulations of women. Think about this, man. The men in Hollywood, the men in the White House and in Washington, men in positions of power in every industry. Most of them were probably nerds in high school. They were ignored by women, didn't get much play. You know what I mean? As they got older and gained more power, more success, right? They still elevate and prioritize the needs and wants of women. They want to be accepted by women. Do you think that any real men, any heterosexual, warm blooded males, do you think we would capitulate to the demands of women like some of these niggas have? Absolutely not. And so we're seeing a lot of them now, and they even behave like women. They're soft. They don't have a backbone. They don't have a spine. And so what they'll do now is they've given the ball to women. It's not even that they're in control anymore. Now you're seeing a takeover. There's a power shift. And when Kamala Harris becomes president, you better believe, and I'm narrowing it down to the black community, if she becomes president, black men won't be able to tell black women shit. I guarantee you that.
you won't even be able to say hi to women. And if you do, you better say it in a certain tone, or that's
Exactly.
your
Well, I'm
ass.
not even talking about sexual harassment. You look at black women, they already believe they are superior to us, and perhaps to some degree, in certain categories, they are. I mean, hell, uh, you look at the ratio of black women going to college versus black men, and it clearly, it's clearly in their favor, right? So they're more educated than we are, and because they're more educated, right now they're making longer strides in corporate America, in the job field, in general. They're progressing, they're moving forward and leaving us behind. So as they're buying homes on their own and they're gaining, advanced degrees, and they are being promoted to, high positions within their companies, they're going to look at us and say, well, what do we even need you niggas for? We got y'all
Mm,
beat. And then we have a black woman as president. That's going to feed their ego even more. You think there's a power struggle between black men and black women right now? Let Kamala Harris be president. See what happens.
yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be quite the place if freaking Harris, and I truly believe that Harris is going to become president. I mean, I
Sure.
just believe that. I've been saying that like 7 months. I think it's all, and this is me. This is me. With my tinfoil freaking hat on. I thought it was a whole big old conspiracy thing to get her in the big chair. It's just that they had to get her in there by way of Joe. Had to get Joe in there first. And then
Mhm.
once they got him in there, then they could, go ahead and push her through. That's my conspiracy theory thing right there, my
Absolutely.
tinfoil hat shit.
Because they weren't going to vote for no black woman straight up. It has to
Oh,
be by
absolutely not.
default. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely
And it's
not.
the thing is, like I said, we're seeing more often women um, being given. Think about this, right? And I've seen so many examples of women having the advantage over men. Even on
Mm,
Facebook, I saw something that made me laugh. There was a photo of a WNBA player named Sue Bird, and then of course there was a photo of LeBron James. Right now, Sue Bird has 4 WNBA championships. LeBron has 4 NBA championships. Sue Bird's been in the league 10, 15 years. LeBron James has 2. They basically the diagram that I saw, the meme compared her stats to LeBron's, and because their stats are relatively comparable, the question was, why is LeBron earning $35 million a year while Sue Bird, the female, only earns $250,000? That was the question asked. Now, we both know the reason for that is because nobody watches the WNBA. They generate absolutely zero revenue. Zero. I mean, like, compared to the NBA, what they bring in is peanuts. That's why men earn a lot more. But women, even looking at this, still have a problem with it. The evidence proves that the NBA generates far more than the WNBA could ever generate. And this is why men are paid so much. And yet women are still coming out of the woodwork and saying, well, female athletes, basketball players should get paid more, just as much as the males. This is indicative of the entitlement and the privilege that women are benefiting from now, where they even feel like, even if they don't produce as much as men, even if they aren't as qualified, right? Even if they don't perform as well, they still expect to be compensated and recognized at the same level or even more than men simply because they are women. We have reached that point now in society. And if there's a female president, you better believe that whatever legislation she writes right into existence, most of it will benefit women.
yeah,
We will find it will be a complete takeover.
yeah. That's what I tell everybody, man. Have your affairs in order, man, because shit's a changing, boy. Shit is changing, folks. It's going to change. Things are going to be different. I mean, we fresh into this presidency right here. I mean, I think Joe's been office now, like what, like 60 days or some shit like that. So, I mean, it's a long haul, man. We got another 3 years and goddamn 10 months left. You
Oh yeah,
know, we
long
got a
time.
we got a long way to go, folks. So,
Long
buckle up,
time.
man.
And
Buckle up.
if you look at Trump's presidency, man, if we're being honest, the man wasn't a saint. He made many mistakes, right? But we can't really point to one thing he did that we could describe as terrible, right? I mean, he was obnoxious, right? He was in some ways insufferable. He refused to stop tweeting, right? And I think he was tactless and tacky in many ways, right? Certainly, he didn't present himself and conduct himself the way a president normally would, but he never really did anything that we could say, "Oh, well, that's terrible." And also, he sort of advocated, right? He spoke in favor of traditions, right, and values that Americans have always followed. That was Trump. The
Mm,
problem is you have many people on the left, they don't want a traditional America. For one, they associate a traditional America with white supremacy. That's one thing. And another, if you look at traditional America, what are some of the pillars, right? Education, family, religion, hard work. These motherfuckers now don't care about that. They want to teach transgenderism to our kids as early as
yeah.
5 years old. That's what they want. They want this weird, bizarre fucking world, man, where you know I can wake up tomorrow and say I want to be a woman today, and
Hmm.
people have to recognize me
Yep.
as a woman.
Throwing a wig and going to damn women's bathroom and shit.
Yeah,
I mean, because I know down here they're trying to. I think they're trying to bring that back. Um, I got to look into it. But they had speaking of canceling, they had canceled the All-Star Weekend down here. I think this was 2 years ago. It was 2 or 3 years ago. It was slated to be done here, but they canceled it due to the fact that the state of North Carolina was in this battle about this bathroom thing, where you can go to whatever bathroom that you identify yourself with, and they canceled the whole All-Star Weekend behind that shit, man, because they were brawling down there, at City Hall and shit, and the State House, and they really were going to take this, to some type of vote. They wanted to make this a thing where you can go to whatever bathroom you identify with that day. So basically, you had these crazy ass dudes walking inside of girls' bathrooms where little girls is at and all that kind of shit, and vice versa. You had these crazy ass women walking into men's bathrooms where little boys are. That's it, and it was a whole hubbub over that. That should stop the All-Star Weekend in its tracks, because they want these fluid bathrooms down here where if you say you're a girl today, well, you get to go in the girl's bathroom today. If you say you're a guy today, you get to go into the guy's bathroom. And they weren't basing it off of a person being transgender, whatever. I mean, literally saying whatever you identify with, that day, in quotes, that's the restroom you can use. I mean, it was crazy. They were actually talking about taking the symbols off of the doors. Like, what?
Crazy. I mean, they're indoctrinating our children, right? Our children, instead of being taught the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, they're being given racial sensitivity training.
Mm-hmm.
They're being taught about transgenderism and gender fluidity.
Yeah.
That's what our kids are being taught. How confused are they going to be as they get older? What type of world are we going to be living? This is why I don't want a child now, is because I'm afraid that, of what type of world he would have to navigate. How can I raise a child in a society that would promote transgenderism in a kindergarten class?
Yeah.
Makes no sense. And so how this ties into the our conversation earlier about civil rights and how blacks have always been at the forefront of that is these groups, these advocacy groups, right? They understand, as you mentioned earlier, that we are experts on this shit. We've been doing this shit for decades. So, of course, they're going to hitch our wagons to our movement because they know that in some way or fashion, they will benefit. They're going to slide some legislation. Like, imagine, and this has happened actually, because Black Lives Matter, from what I understand, originally was to raise awareness of police brutality against black males. Somehow it was expanded to transgender people. I'm like, well, what the fuck?
I just don't get it, man. Like,
They're like, well, black
fine,
lives
man.
of all kinds, not just black males.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of black lives. And so transgenders are discriminated against too. They're harassed and beaten. So now, of course, we have to recognize their suffering. They have to be included. So this is it's not even about black males anymore. You have people again cherry picking from this movement.
Well, you know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what it is, man. I'm a true believer that, black men, we are probably some of the most stubborn people when it comes to this kind of shit. This is why they have to push it on us so hard, because they know the rank and file black man, we don't want to go along with this BS, so they have to freaking push it and push it and push it and push it hard, because I mean, black men, for the most part, are very resistant to this kind of crap. I mean, we're resistant to this kind of crap. Of course, you got the people who, go along with the whole female narrative. That's another that's another topic for another night. But
Mhm.
I truly believe that the rank and file black man, I mean, we're very resistant to this kind of crap, where everybody get to go into the same bathroom and 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 if you come in there and you got a big ass mustache and a beard and a wig on and you walk into my establishment, I ain't trying to call you no damn woman just because you got this damn wig on and speaking in a high pitched voice. I mean, we're very resistant to that kind of shit. That is why they have to inundate us with. We don't want to walk into the damn library, bringing our kid to the library, and they having story time with Mrs. Tranny over here. Like,
Mhm.
come on, man. I mean, we're resistant to that type of shit, man. So they gotta freaking inundate everybody around you with it. They have to because they need to make you appear to be the odd one.
Right.
You're the odd one because you don't want your daughter in the bathroom with some man. You're the odd one because you don't want your 6-year-old getting read Cat in a Hat by some damn transgender person. You're the odd one because you don't want your child's teacher teaching your 7-year-old sex education, like and sex identifying and all this kind of nonsense.
Right.
You're the odd one. Go ahead.
Exactly. Speaking of Cat in the Hat, I mean, well, we ain't got to worry about that no more.
Yeah, right.
The
It's
transgender, the
over.
tranny will still be there. She'll just have another
Yeah.
book in her hand.
Yeah, we read some other shit. Jack and
Yeah,
Jill.
yeah. Until they find a way to pervert that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mr. Potato Head, Cat in the Hat, Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, all of these make believe characters um, are racially and socially offensive. Yet you can have a
Hmm.
tranny, reading God knows what to a group of children, and somehow that is okay.
Yeah. That's fine. But everything else, it's like people can find freaking people can people can find misogyny, racism, and freaking offensiveness in anything. And I mean anything. They can take a penny and say the face on it is racist. They could say the color of a car is racist. They can say a certain type of shirt is sexist. They can say a certain type of sign on the highway is misogynistic. It's just getting ridiculous now. Like, I mean that you can find we're living in a time now where you can find one, if not all of those three things: racism, misogyny, and goddamn offensiveness in any damn thing. Even inanimate objects like a pencil can now be considered racist. I
Absolutely.
mean,
You better believe, hey,
ah,
I don't know how long, they'll sell white microwaves at Walmart.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
it's
saying?
racist.
It's
The
racist.
microwave is racist.
you know. So it's just it's getting to a point, man, where um and I know that when Rome fell, it's
Yeah.
because um, you know, I would compare it to where America is right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just too many cooks in the kitchen, too many chefs, too many chiefs, not enough Indians, right?
Yeah.
It failed, it imploded, right, internally from the inside. And that cancer had spread until eventually, right, Rome was no more, at least ancient Rome. In America, I think is experiencing the same thing where I don't think war is going to be the reason why America ultimately dies. I think it'll be
Yeah.
because we will kill it ourselves. Are we even living in America anymore? I mean, if you really think about it, you go to other countries, man. And I mean, hell, you go to China right now, man. Go to Germany, go to Russia. Do you think that the authorities, the powers that be in those countries are allowing any of this foolishness to take place over there? Hell no. This is the only country, the only nation right? That allows people to do whatever the fuck they want, even if it violates or conflicts with the natural fabric of said country, right? America, there again, we've always had certain values and principles that made America America, right? Well, they're being thrown out of the window and they're being replaced with illogical ideologies that promote transgenderism, that promote, um, all of these just bizarre concepts that have nothing to do with the country.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing, man. Like, and you,
It in
man,
his mind.
oh, my bad. That wasn't supposed to come on, y'all. But,
Mhm.
yeah, freaking, you have all these, you have all these terms for every little thing. Like I said, they can find racism, they can find misogyny, discrimination, and every goddamn thing nowadays. And what what happens a lot of times is, you know, it causes people to have to, you have to walk on eggshells all the time, man, because you don't want what you're doing to seem racist. You don't want what you do to seem misogynistic or discriminatory. And usually, like I said before, usually if you're speaking out, you're speaking about something that's kind of insane. Because I have granddaughters, man, and I couldn't imagine, my 6-year-old granddaughter going to the bathroom and some motherfucker with a beard and mustache that walks in there behind her. We're gonna have a problem if I see that. I mean, we're going to have a serious problem if I see that, right? So but if you were to say something to that guy, like, hey, man, why the fuck are you going in this bathroom? And my grandbaby's going in there. You would be called the goddamn, you would be called the sexist, racist guy.
Yep.
It would be you being called that.
Yeah. Let's say you're
Even though
transphobic.
this, yes, he's transphobic.
Transphobic.
And meanwhile, you got this motherfucker with a big ass mustache and a beard and a wig on. He's walking into the fucking girl's bathroom. But
Right.
you're the odd one because you think that is odd.
Exactly.
That's the world that we live in, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. That's the world
Absolutely. It's
that we
all
live in
fucking
now.
backwards, and it's all, of course, being orchestrated by the Democratic Party. Let's be real. Now, I have my, um, my issues with uh, Republicans as well, right? I don't fully support either party. I think both parties are heavily flawed. But this weird shit, all Democrats, all liberals, um, and it's funny. I'll make another example. You mentioned transgenders, but let's even look at um, the preferential treatment and the advantages that women are starting to have. Right? You look at. Um, I'm reading some of the comments that are popping up in your feed here, and I think one mentioned Pepe Le Pew, the cartoon skunk that was canceled. I think
Yeah.
last week.
Out of there.
Right,
Out of
out
there.
of there, right? Because he was apparently showing too much aggression to the other female skunks
Yeah.
in the
He's
cartoons,
too he's
right?
too misogynistic of a cartoon.
Misogynistic. It was, oh well, he's promoting rape culture or whatever, right?
The
So they
fucking
had to get rid of a
cartoon.
cartoon. But if you watch Coming to America too, did you watch the Coming to America, the new one?
Yep,
Okay,
I saw it.
so it's okay to get rid of a cartoon, but Eddie Murphy, and this is why I'm upset with him because he had an opportunity with this movie, really to create something that flies in the face of cancel culture and of political correctness. Right, with this comedy, he really could have done something, um, sort of to resurrect the spirit of comedy because, as we know, comedy doesn't cater to anyone's sensibilities. If it's funny, it's funny. And he had an opportunity to do that. But instead, what did he do? right? He allowed feminism to infiltrate that entire fucking film. How is it that it's okay to cancel a skunk for promoting rape culture, but in his movie, his character was drugged by um whose character was it? Fuck. Anyway, you remember in that movie he has a son by some random woman in Queens, right? Well, apparently 20 or
Mm-hmm.
30 years ago, this woman, she drugged him, raped him, and he impregnated her.
Mm.
So how is it okay for a woman to rape a man, to drug him first and then rape a man? How is that funny? That's comedy. But a skunk, when he does something similar, that's that's a I don't understand. That's
Yeah,
a flagrant
it's
offense.
yeah, it's promoting sexual assault or something or
Sexual
another.
assault. So the skunk, that's a sexual assault. But when it happened in Coming to America, it was just comedy.
See, what's probably going to end up happening is, especially when you talk about, like television and shit. Movies may be a little different, but television, what's going to happen is everything on television now is going to have to fall within certain guidelines, especially when you're talking about sitcoms and news and shit like that. It's going to have to fall within certain guidelines, or you ain't going to see that shit anymore. Certain words ain't going to be able to be used, certain gestures, certain looks, certain whatever. Yeah, I mean, if
Already
it doesn't
happened.
fall within those guidelines, that shit's out of there. I'm telling you,
Already happened. And
it's out of there.
normally, and we all know this, that the guidelines, they're pretty simple. If what you say is offensive to blacks, gays, or women, you will be canceled.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. But you can call the black man, you can call him a deadbeat, you can call him sorry, you can call him all this kind of bullshit.
Yep,
You can do all that shit.
sure can.
No one cares.
No one
You
gives a
can say
shit.
whatever you want about a black man, and no one will care.
No one cares. Not at
No
all.
one will care.
No one cares at all. We are
No one will care.
we are the least um we're the least considered group of people in the world. You know, we're only good for scoring touchdowns and dunking basketballs and
Yeah,
fucking. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. That's
O-
it. That's it.
Outside of that, no one cares about us.
Yeah. Well, that's something that I think many of us are used to. There's probably a few of us who think otherwise. They may be out of the loop. Because let's face it, a lot of black men, they default, to women. Um, they don't feel a lot of brothers don't they don't think and feel that black men should uh have a place amongst society. They, because I talk to people, man. I talk to people outside of YouTube, and they feel basically what we talk about. Because we've always talked about how people always say, the women are the backbone of the community, et cetera, et cetera. And I talk to people, man, who really believe that shit. Now, mind you, most of the brothers I know don't believe that. But there is a small minority of brothers who feel like, yes, we need to be catering to these women. These women had our families. We should be concerned, with what these women are going through. We should be concerned, and back them on their politics and their social justice agendas, on and on and on. There's men out here like that. So if you embolden these people even more, if these people are even more emboldened, guess what? You're gonna find yourself, the more you embolden women, the less you allow men to have any type of say so within that particular particular collective. I mean, individually, it's different. I mean, you're a man, you run your fucking house. I know that's what I do. But, as a collective, I think that when you start to you empower the women. And my man said this the other day, my man Jay Shine, he was talking about it. He said, when you empower women, that's a direct shot at you. That's disrespecting the men of the collective. When you go past the men, you go over the men and empower the women. You know, you that's a direct shot at the men, because basically what you're saying is fuck y'all. We're gonna make it so not only do they not need y'all anymore, don't have to listen to y'all anymore, but guess what else? They're gonna have way more than y'all too.
Well, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Again, they're more educated, professionally. They're doing more. Right? They're advancing more than we are. Uh, um, for whatever reason, black men, we just can't get it right. Of course, there are exceptions, right? There are outliers, but generally speaking, you know, I know it's cliche to mention, but many of us are in jail. Many of us
Mm,
are on the down low or openly gay. Others of us just ain't got our shit together. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, us collectively, I think we're in bad fucking shape. And we're allowing women to push us out, um, and to seize power within our community because, frankly, we don't have the resources to compete with them. How can we, with a straight face, say that we want respect? How can we demand authority in our homes when our women are smarter than us? They make more money. They're doing more in life. They're achieving more. What are we going to say?
yeah.
So I think, part of it, obviously, is that black women, yes, they are being encouraged to um, really to create lives for themselves without black men. I've seen that a lot more often, but we aren't doing anything to counteract that. I think if black men, if we were actually doing more, accomplishing more, if the playing field were more even, then perhaps the shift in power that we've observed, maybe it wouldn't be happening.
Mm. Well, you would think, because according to statistics, brothers are doing a lot better, than they have in quite some time. Um, but what I think the problem is that it's hard for black men to get out from under that stigma, right? Because black men, you got black men, they wear that whole cloak of, black men are bad dads, black men don't want to work, black men aren't educated, black men are deadbeats, black men are this, all black men got 15 baby mamas, all that kind of stuff. So it's hard for black men to get out from under that. I mean, it, especially from a collective basis. I mean, individually, I mean, of course, and brothers in the chat are saying that uh they don't make more than us. They don't make more than us, and there's more than, yeah. I know that that's true.
No, they're
That
more
they don't make more.
educated. They're more educated. Women in general don't
Yeah.
make or earn more
Well,
than
they're more
for various
enrolled. They're
reasons.
more enrolled. It's more of
Yeah.
them enrolled
Right.
than it
More than
is
who's
us.
graduating
So,
too. There are more
well,
graduates as well. I'm just saying that that will eventually translate to them earning more. The reason why
mm,
women don't earn as much as men do is because in many cases, they don't major in disciplines that will provide them with a large salary when they graduate. If you're majoring in the liberal art, even a liberal arts degree, if you're a sociology major, right? If you're a social worker, or a teacher or whatever, you're gonna clock probably 60 or 70 G's a year. That's not a lot of money. And then also, if you think about it, women, they often take more vacations. If they give birth, they take a lot of time off for that. There are a lot of factors in why women don't earn as much as men do, right? The gender gap is it's getting shorter, but there are factors in why it still exists. I'm just saying that in terms of education, black women are running laps around us right now, and that will ultimately lead to them eventually uh, outperforming us in the job sector as well.
Mm. Yeah, man, it's something to think about, man. It's something to think about, especially because I think that this whole, the way the economy kind of took a crapper, with this COVID stuff. I think it's gonna, I think it's gonna have a lasting effect. And whenever there's a quote unquote negative blow to the country, um, black men have a tendency to feel it the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that it's going to take a while for the country to recover. So it's going to take a while for many black men to get back on their grind, especially those who took a hit. Because I know a couple people, man, that own like barbershops and shit like that. Some of those guys' businesses never came back. They never came back because they closed their shit down for 3 months, you know, and they couldn't survive it. They couldn't pay the bill. They couldn't, pay the lease. They couldn't, they didn't have money for their house or their car notes and shit like that. I know a couple people here, man, their businesses freaking collapsed. All right. Their businesses collapsed. So, I mean, it's gonna be a while before a lot of brothers be able to turn it around, man, and get back, especially if you got a business, man, and you've had this business for years, and this has been your life's damn work, and then this shit collapse. Because I know me, man, I don't know what the hell I would have did, man, if my damn shop would have collapsed. You know, y'all wouldn't have heard from me for a long time. Y'all would have been like, damn. What the hell happened to this motherfucker? This motherfucker done went off some motherfucking way and killed himself or some shit like that. So yeah, man, I couldn't imagine. Luckily, I'm in a luckily I'm in a field that wasn't affected. I'm in a field where it actually helped. It the business grew by about 35% to be exact. But
Mm.
I mean, a lot of people, man, they were messed up. I know people who lost their jobs that never got them back. You know, a few people in my family caught the COVID shit. So, I've seen it. I've seen it from all different sides, man. I've seen it, man. And I've seen people, man. I've seen some people really go down hard, man. They really went down hard because of this shit. And I think as black people, man, I think we have enough problems. All right. I think we have enough problems. I don't think we need to be dipping our hands into other people's problems at this point. I just don't think we need to do it, man. That's
Exactly.
just me.
That
That's
again
just me.
ties into the original point. The reason why we are having this discussion tonight. We have our own ports to sweep. We have our own
Hmm.
problems to deal with. We cannot afford to offer our help or resources to anyone else right now because
Yeah.
apparently, uh, you know, we haven't been able to handle our own business.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna
Yeah.
handle someone else's?
Yeah. We gotta get this right first. We gotta get
Absolutely.
this right first. And even then, shit, once we get right, we still need to goddamn keep everything close to the chest because we never know when another we never know when there's another round of bullshit coming our way. So we need to be prepared. We don't,
Always
we
another round of bullshit. And you're right.
yeah,
This with black men is just crazy how we just
yeah,
we
yeah,
are how can I put this? we're vessels for most people.
Yeah.
For the consumers, we're vessels of entertainment. For women, we're vessels of sexual satisfaction.
Yeah.
Um, for other people, we're vessels of. I mean, if you look at hip hop, if you look at other ways that we entertain the masses, generally black men are used as a form of entertainment, whether it be,
Mm-hmm.
music, sports, sex, whatever. We're used as vessels, but I don't think people really fuck with black people like that, or black men
Nope.
rather.
Nope. What is what does Dr. Claude Anderson say all the time? He says, black people, we don't do nothing but sell sweat. We get all this money for dancing and playing sports and shit. We're selling sweat. He said we
Mhm.
selling sweat.
Exactly. And you can say,
Cause it
oh, well,
went.
what about all of the people who gathered to protest, George Floyd and others and all of that? Well, yeah, I guess
Mm-hmm.
these are examples, but again, you know, I'm looking at everyday life. We have to look
Mm-hmm.
beyond these protests because these protests are anomalies. How often do you see thousands of people gather for anything? Not very
Yeah.
often, right? So we really can't use these protests as measurable examples of black men being supported and protected by black women or anyone else for that matter. You have to look at the everyday interactions, between black men and black women, or between black men and other racial groups. And frankly, if we're not being ignored, if we're not invisible to other groups, then we're viewed as threats. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You walk past
Mm-hmm.
someone, she'll clench her purse, she'll lock her car door, she'll put distance between her and you because the media still portrays black men in that way. It's so funny, it's like they there's a contrast in how they portray us. On one hand, when it's convenient for whatever agenda they're pushing, they'll portray black men as this helpless, loving father and husband or whomever, to gain the sympathy of their viewers. And then on the other hand, when it's convenient, we're portrayed in a completely different light, where we're, as you mentioned, deadbeats, or we're
Yeah.
criminals, or we're animals. So what they do is they have reshaped, you know, um, the image of black men that
Mm-hmm.
they sort of give to the public. They've done it so often that I don't even think people really know who we are anymore. We're a
Yeah.
combination of a lot of things.
Yeah. Combination of a lot of things, but by most of the world, seen as nothing. That's crazy. Seen as everything and seen as nothing at the same
Exactly.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
It is so disappointingly poetic, brother Haywood.
We fucking are. We're, we're George Floyd. We're George Floyd and fucking Tupac.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. It's crazy, man. You know, seen as everything and nothing at the same
Everything
time,
and
man.
nothing at the same time. I guarantee you, I would bet my soul that if George Floyd were alive today and he walked past an Asian motherfucker or an Asian family, do you think they would say, "Hey, brother, how you doing?"
Mm.
Of course
Nope,
not.
nope.
That's when if you want to show me that Black Lives Matter, you have to do it every day consistently. It has to be a
Yeah,
daily habit, a daily practice, not just when there's a protest or when there are cameras around. If Black Lives Matter, then you have to prove that every single day. And unfortunately, people do not. That's why these protests are bogus to me.
yeah. Never been much for the marching. Like, never been much for that. I mean, and I've been to rallies. I've actually covered, I've been to rallies, with my camera equipment and all that stuff, after somebody that got shot or killed. I've been to a few of them. But, far as the marching, 25 blocks, never participated in that. I did chase down a march though one time when I was in New York. They was doing they was marching for Eric Gardner, and I happened to be at the spot, and I had to run and catch up to him, to film him. But that's the only time I ever did that. Wouldn't be good. Yeah, I'm not gonna be out there with y'all marching and going on. And plus, it was winter time too, man. It was like
Oh yeah,
fucking
that's
5 below 0 out that
Yeah, hell
motherfucker,
no.
man.
Anybody can march. 5 below 0, they marching? Hell no. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly, brother. Jay Shide, exactly. Shit, show me a photo of an Asian family sitting at goddamn Sylvia's, motherfucker. And then we can talk.
You ain't
Did
gonna
did
see
we
it.
did we'll listen to what's going on with y'all? Yeah, then we'll listen to what's going on. God damn it, fuck it. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming through, brother Haywood, man. Before you go though, what else you got going on, man? What else coming down the pipe, brother Haywood?
Oh wow. You know what? I again still writing still. I'm actually working on my next book.
Okay.
Will be coming out real soon, and really, that book will focus on how liberals have indoctrinated and dogmatized black people to view
Mm,
themselves as victims, and how ultimately that has affected, our ability to advance. Right. So that will ultimately be something that I write because I truly believe that liberalism has contaminated Black progress. I really believe that. Um,
wow. Gotta
and
come through, man. When the next
Yeah,
book drop, brother Haywood, you gotta come through, man.
I absolutely
You know,
will because I'm putting it
you gotta
together,
come
and of
through.
course, still writing for, the newspapers and the publications that I always have, and so yeah, man, just trying to get my word out there to the public, man. That's pretty much what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, man. As always, man, my brother, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. And everybody, I put the links to Brother Haywood's article in the chat. You can go ahead and pull it up, read it for your black ass selves. Don't take my word for it. Read it for yourself. Like I always say, read it for yourself. And Cory Haywood, my brother. Those of you who don't know this, brother Haywood, man, he's been fucking with me a long time, ever since I was in radio. So,
Yeah, man.
he's always got a home here. And brother Haywood, man, when the book dropped, man, hit me up, bro.
I'm gonna definitely hit you up and let you know I appreciate you, man, for giving me the opportunity
Yeah,
to
man.
speak with you tonight.
Absolutely. Anytime, man. Whenever you want to come through, man, just write me. You got my information. All right.
Will do, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, just got off the line with my brother, Cory Haywood. You know, he's very calm these days, y'all. It's almost like, wait a minute, man. Who the fuck are you? And what the hell you do with Brother Haywood? Yeah, but he had hit me up, y'all, because y'all know he just hit me up today. This was just some old emergency, because y'all know X don't really do impromptu, but he hit me up earlier, hit me up at like 7 o'clock. And I already had Brother Cut to the Chase scheduled. But Brother Cut to the Chase said he can only stay like an hour and some change anyway. So I said, fuck it, I'll be done with cutting the chase by like 11. I had my boy Cory Haywood come through. Um, like him, love him, hate his guts. I mean, the brother Haywood does good work. Like I said, man, check out his articles, man. You can also catch him on EurWeb, EUR web.com, and he also writes for the Black Hat. So you can check him out. Check out his book, because all you got to do is Google him. He'll come up. I think the last book he wrote was Coon Flakes. I think it did pretty good. So go ahead, man. Google old brother Haywood, man, because he's actually somebody. He's not like a nobody like me and shit. He's actually somebody. So you could go ahead and look him up, man. Check him out and check out his work, man. And like I said, brother Haywood's been fucking with T.P.O.T, man. Like for shit. 2014, 2015. Yeah. Cory's been around T.P.O.T a long time, boy. Long time. I've watched him grow up out this motherfucker. But I want to show y'all something right quick before we peel up out of here, folks. I was together. Oh, as a matter of fact, hold on. Because y'all know X likes to hit y'all with the old programming notes. Yeah, so this week on the T.P.O.T YouTube page, I think I'm going to go back to making those commercials. What do y'all think about those little commercials I used to make? I used to come on, I used to be like, spokes this week on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. Y'all think I should go back to making them sense? Let me know in the chat if I should go back to making them. But tomorrow, my boy AJ will be here, and we'll be doing the AJ challenge. Y'all know how the challenges work. I let you come up, lay your premise, and anybody that want to come on and take you on, they get to do it. If you're willing to take the challenge. And tomorrow, my man AJ wants to throw down. He hit me up. He was like, X, man, I need to do a challenge. People been trying to come against me, X. So I want to do it up on your shit because I know you're going to have the time keeping the whole nine. So, yeah, brother AJ will be here tomorrow for the AJ challenge. Then right after that, because tomorrow is a double header, brother J.I. returns. And y'all already know what he in here squaring off over. That damn financial abortion. But he's got a different opponent, Queen, my aunt girl, who I'm not really too familiar with. But she did hit me up. I mean, she wrote me and was like, oh, X, I want to, debate J.I., and I think I've heard of her, but I mean, she wrote me and she's like, oh, hey, X, I want to debate J.I. So I'm like, okay, because I know J.I. is with it. I'm like, all right. So they'll be here tomorrow. We're doing a late night debate, 11 p.m. Eastern time, right after the AJ challenge. So tomorrow's going to be another. He said, Brother J. Shaw said, J.I. Possibly. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with her, Brother Jay Sean. She just hit me up in my email like the other day, and she was like, X, I want to come on and I want to debate J.I. So, you know me, you hit me up with that email, I'm going to say, yeah, let's do it. So, there it is. So, we'll see tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow, late night debate. Brother J.I. be squaring off with Lady Queen Mayat. So, make sure you're here for that one. I'm pretty sure it's the old financial abortion, as always. Then Saturday, The Reckoning, because The Reckoning is a series now. And I'm going to gather a few brothers together. I'm having my brother Jay Shine up in here riding shotgun, of course. Saturday, I might be in and out, y'all, because I actually have a few deliveries coming to the house, some equipment, and a lot of it is probably not going to get here. Well, supposed to get here before like 10 o'clock. So a lot of that shit probably won't get here till like 9 o'clock. So hopefully my boy Jay Shine will be here, and because I got to run out and, sign invoices and all that kind of bullshit. Maybe I can get Brother Jay Shine to kind of, steer the wheel while I go out here and fuck with the white folks and get my shit. So, yeah, make sure you hear Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. Some of your favorite YouTubers will be here. If y'all watched the last The Reckoning, part of the Reckoning series, where we were talking to Nick Taylor, Brother Super Sly, Brother LAR, SKC came in at the end, and Brother Zero. So this week I'm gathering up another 3-4 brothers, and my brother Jay Sean will be here, and hopefully we have 3 more people that I'm trying to get to come. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to make a promise to y'all that I can't keep, but I am hitting up a few of your favorite YouTubers and see if they're going to come here. I think this is going to become a thing, y'all. Like I don't know if we'll do it every week, but every one of these reckoning shows, we're going to have, 3 or 4 of your, notable names, and we're gonna be chopping it up for about 2 hours about whatever topic. This week we're gonna be talking about hate watching. Let me say that again. Hate watching. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about. So make sure you hear Saturday, because y'all know we do the Saturday shows a little early. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern time instead of 9:30. Make sure you hear, man. It's going to be a good show. And like I said, my man Jay Sean will be riding shotgun. So you already know what it is. All right. All right. So I told y'all that brother because brother Super Slide was here, brother Nick Taylor was here, and brother LAR was here as well, the Sage. And I want to show y'all a little clip. I want to show y'all a little clip. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wait till tomorrow, because I don't really got it set up the way I want it to. And yeah, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I'll wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow, y'all. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll wait till tomorrow so I can get it set up so y'all can really get the context of it, because it's actually fucking hilarious. It is fucking hilarious. But yeah, once again, man, thanks everybody, man, for coming out, man, hanging out with us, man, spending some time with us. It's always appreciated, man. I appreciate the cash apps and all of that. Make sure you have your black behinds here tomorrow and Saturday, because if you don't, you already know what I'm going to do. If you don't have your ass here Friday and Saturday, you know what's going to happen, right? I will haunt your old black ass mama in her dreams. I fucking mean it too. Oh, mama, jump out of that bed, boy, come running down in the basement. Where your ass at? Be like, oh my God. You'll be like, Mom, what happened? There's a guy up there floating across the bed. He's got dreads. You'll be like, don't worry about it, Mom. That's just X. God damn it. And make sure I'm watching tomorrow, because if I don't, I'll be back. He'll be back. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man, for coming out tonight, spending some time with us, man. As always, man, I always appreciate you good folks, man. The good folks that hang out there, and the good folks who hang out in here. I don't take y'all lightly, man. I never have, and I never will. All right? I appreciate all your black asses. I actually do. Because I probably care about you more than you think I do. And maybe one day you might just understand it, Negroes. But anyway, once again, shout out to my boy, writer, author, Cory Haywood, for coming through tonight. And a special shout out to the young fella, Cut to the Chase TV. So, with that, I will leave you good folks with 3 words. Like I always do. Open your mind.
Hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. What about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost at $1 billion.
The Popular Thought City.
3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, Paul. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you with all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD. Didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper till you read over and over and see white families travel? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you used to drive a car. And if you use it wrong, then you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, if we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Sack Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power, hours of power, hours of power.
San Antonio, Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down, 10-4. 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your mind.